Fadinator might be the best player. Nobody's even made him look mortal right now. This guy looks like he is immortal. He looks like he's amongst the gods. Nobody's even hurt him. Nobody's made him like take a step wrong. He's had flawless performances every single time he stepped out there. He's obviously just that guy right now, and continues to do it. A brilliant performance, and still
Fadinator showing why he's a problem.
The pound-for-pound GOAT right now in FSK Fadinator. Will be interested to see what is around the corner from that man, because obviously, you know, he's going to get to a point within the next like 5 fights where he will be setting a record and cleaning out the division. Like,
it's going to be difficult for any
human being.
I can see Fadinator holding the belt for the entire season.
The undisputed Xbox champion of the world, Fatty the Baddie.
Ken Winter's got a hell of a task in front of him. Fadinator looks unstoppable, but Ken Winter's had some fantastic performances, and if he does it, incredible.
I
have to say, KM Winter, credit where credit is due. That man came out and performed here this evening. I look forward to seeing what he can do in the near future now.
Winter, big wins over Trixie, big wins over Evo. He continues to improve and continues to show why he belongs at the top of the Xbox divisions.
Winter came here today with violence in his heart.
That means we get Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and that is going to be epic. Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and it starts right now! NM Smudger versus Dave TT. Before we start and tell you how great Smudger is, before we build a similar picture and tell you how dominant he's been in Primetime, before we tell you that he's beat every single person in a rematch that has beat him, before we do any of that, we need to look back at Primetime 97. This was Smudger versus Dave at Primetime 97. The first round started off with MK Dave taking the lead, hitting the body, using his grappling and really making it difficult for Smudger to gain a rhythm in this fight. It was one of the first times that somebody made Smudger look human. This was a shock. This was something we'd not seen before on the commentary team or as the PT audience kind of gasped as MK Dave started to rally in that first round and pick apart Smudger. This is something Smudger does to other people, we thought. But somewhere deep down, we all knew Smudger has the ability to put someone's lights out in one shot. This guy can create magic in the cage. He can pull a rabbit out of a hat, and that's what he did. He created magic once again. And for Dave, it must be frustrating because he did dominate that fight.
For nothing. All of that success in that second round for nothing.
As Jay Dime says, all that success for nothing. Or was it for nothing? Because Dave has his shot at redemption again tonight. He is able to right the wrongs that he made in that first fight. We don't know either way, but what we do know is we're about to find out.
Got about a minute and a half left, maybe a minute, yes.
No matter who I'm in there with, they ain't getting out there alive. They're going out there in some sort of stretcher. What is good, you beautiful bunch of savages? It is Primetime 104, NM Smudger v Dave TT. Two title fights on this card here this evening, of course. We're going to be having the Xbox GOAT at the moment in Fadinator, representing FSK, taking on KM Winter on the up-and-coming. And calling all of the action with me here this evening are two of the most prolific in the game. Your friends and mine, J-Dime TV and Mr. Humbledink. How are you doing, lads?
I am good, Cyrus. I can't believe I just talked through that whole promo. I apologise to everyone, but I was muted. But that is the story, though, J-Dan. We have a fantastic main event. NM Smudger versus Dave TT, and the core main event as well. That piques my interest so much. Fadinator versus Winter. What do you make of these two?
Listen to me. When it comes... Okay, did you say Fadinator Winter, or did you say Smudger or Dave? Who did you say first of all?
Well, first of all, for Smudger and David fighting, but then, you know, Fadinator afterwards, that's going to be...
Which fight do you want to start with? Which fight do you want to start
Let's go to Smudger. Let's go to the main event.
Okay, boom. So we got Smudger and Dave. We know Smudger is a PlayStation GOAT. But here's the thing. Dave got a better chance than y'all think, because Dave is, like, he's hot and cold. Dave could beat the best person in the world and then somehow lose to Humbled Inc. That can really happen with Dave, because we seen Dave start a 5-0. Then went 0-5 after. Then he started streak again. He's just so streaky. He really got to find some consistency in his game, Cyrus.
Absolutely. Look, you're speaking absolute facts. I feel like monumental kind of momentum has been behind him, and then it's gone against him. It's either been avalanching for him or against him every single time he steps into that cage. You know, 5-0 on the win, 5-0 on the loss. Now back on a big win streak again, challenging for the belt. And I think that, you know, we were mentioning this a little bit going into it as well there, Humble. Dave, you know, had a really good matchup last time out against Smudger until it kind of didn't go his way. You muted, bro.
100%. I want you to put that shotgun down right there, Cyrus, because that was a brutal servant that you just gave me right there. You know what I mean? He needs to blow off the smoke on that one. That was a nice spray. But yeah, exactly that. The thing is, right, about Dave is obviously he went 5-0, but then he went. I think something like stopped his interest, or maybe they were close fights or something like that, because the fights he lost were to people like Smudger. Do you know what I mean? So those guys that you're fighting at the top, Cyrus, it's not easy at the PlayStation division when you're fighting every single guy's a real deal.
Yeah, no, exactly right, bro. And funnily enough, talking about PlayStation, I recently got myself a PlayStation. Had the pleasure today of sparring a couple of the guys on the card, going up against NM Smudger, obviously in the main event, the absolute GOAT of that PlayStation division. That man is a problem. I've been able to call his fights for a long time, but to, you know, experience it firsthand was something a little bit different. I'm interested to see how Dave is going to come into this one, because like Jay said, he is hot and cold, and I think that right now he is on the hottest streak that he's ever been on. He's gunning for that title, and he has a lot of people doubting him, and he feels that that's adding the extra pressure he needs to really continue to elevate his game. But J-Dime, bro, the co-main event, it's between two absolutely sensational competitors. FSK Fadinator, he has been unstoppable in this Xbox division right now, but he is going up against a truly worthy opponent in KM Winter, a very unique guy, a specialist striker. I feel like these guys kind of match up very, very differently than a lot of the ways, you know, a lot of the matchups the Fad has had in the past. Winter doesn't look like other players or perform like other players.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I always say about Fadinator, he's looking for that new rival. It used to be Trixie for a while. Maybe Cam Winter could be that guy who can finally dethrone him, because right now, the only person who could be Fadinator is himself, and it takes a really strong competitor, someone really special, to beat a special fighter in Fadinator, Humble.
100%, and that could be Winter. You know, this is his shot, this is his chance. If he does that, Cyrus, it's going to be incredible. Essentially, nobody's expecting Winter to win, and I mean that with all. I have so much respect for him. I think he's fantastic, but it's just Fadinator being 11-0 against some of the best guys. What he did in the Grand Prix this season has been Fadinator's season, 100%. And if Winter shocks the world right now, it's going to be one of the biggest moments in primetime history.
Yeah, exactly right, bro. Exactly right. And honestly, I will never doubt, you know, any of these guys that make it up top 5. I'll never doubt, count them out of a fight, because as though like guys go on really dominant streaks, and you know their skills become, you know, very well known within the community and respected. Ultimately, when you look at like everybody in that top spot, they've all earned it. There's no easy fights here. There is a difference between what you'll find in like an OWC and, you know, many other places around, right? And the upper echelon of these top promotions, you will find that every single one of them has the ability to finish fights, has the ability to dig deep, and it's really just about who is going to turn up on the night. And talking about turning up on the night, there is a man that is up first here this evening that turns up every single night that we put on events, and that is ICB Lepo, trying to get in there once again, going up against Pain. I'm not as familiar with Pain. I don't know if you guys are, but I believe that he's kind of coming onto the scene at the moment, trying to obviously establish a bit of a name. I know that he's got 3 or 4 fights in the in the promotion right now, 3-1 from what I'm looking at, on a +1. So still very, very early in his run there, Humble, but this is a great opportunity for him on PT 104 to really put his name up there against a kind of veteran of the scene in Lepo.
This is what I love. This is the great matchmaking of PT, and this is why I love it. And I'd love Doctor's matchmaking and thinking on this one. Getting the old veteran who's got like a good record against somebody that's up and coming that we need to know more information about. Pain's been around and he brings the Pain J-Dime, but we need to know more information. Is he that guy? That's what we need to find out right now.
And guess what? That's why he's here on PT right now, so we can find that out, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm a little bit worried here, I'll be honest with you, of these guys' connections. It's jumping quite a bit. I suppose they give it a couple of extra minutes to see if it's stabilizing, but it's kind of going between 200 and 300 right now. It would be a shame to lose our first fight, but I think that you'd agree that that's a bit much right there to get a competitive fight off.
What I would say is go to the first round. If it's too bad, just come out of it, even if, that's what I'd do. I just have it, because you don't know until you go in there. It might stay.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, we've seen worse. We've seen worse. Get in there, boys. What are you doing? Got messed about.
There we go.
There you go. Get him, smack him in. Oh, pow, pow. Get in there. I'm not messing about. Not messing about here. Here we go. So, yeah. Pain's got a good chance to kind of make a name for himself. Lepo is defending his honour. I love this sort of guard fighting, Cyrus. You know what I mean? Like, he's defending his honour. He's a veteran. He's been in. This guy's seen so many people. How many times have we said about Lepo? He's fighting a new up-and-comer. He's defending his honour, his place.
Bro, it's because he fights every single week. Like, this guy, right, he never has the most impeccable record. He's always like a 50-50 fighter. He's kind of like and it's almost insulting, but like the journeyman sort of title goes to something like that.
Moolah got the title, that's all I'm saying.
But like, genuinely though, with Lepo, he is dangerous. I think it's just because he plays so much, he kind of fights a little wild. He's trying to like prove points out there, J-Dime, and sometimes proving, just trying to prove a point that like you can be flashy or you can be whatever kind of goes against him.
Yeah, but he's a journeyman, but he's not the gatekeeper. That's Moolah. Right? as much as he has lost, though, that can be a benefit for him because he has the experience. He can show him there's levels because he's been here for a long time, Humble.
Yeah, he's got experience. He knows what it's like to kind of perform under the bright lights, and essentially that's going to help him. And he started off quite well, going to the body, gets taken down by Pain, and now Pain's going to try and pass his guard. Vital moment right there, Cyrus. He kicks him off.
Yeah, exactly right. Lepo is a guy that's, kind of very well versed in grappling. In fact, it used to be kind of one of his main attacks, but he seems to have really started to try and invest in his hands recently. I mean, Jorge Masvidal, pretty solid pick if you want to get that going, but of course, Nate is dangerous on the mat, J-Diamond, gets an early little hip toss in, and now he's going to try and ride out positions and hunt for those submissions.
Yeah, and if you're Nate Diaz, you're happy about that you got the hip toss early. Now you can just minute win and just continue, not even just lay on him. Get some damage in and control this fight for as long as it's here, Humble.
Yeah, exactly that. And also it's nice in the first round to kind of get a lay of your opponent's defense and what he's bad at. So, there's a ping issue as well. So this might be difficult to block these transitions if you're paying. So essentially it's a clever tactic from Lepo. Like, we all do it now and then, you've got to kind of utilize the sort of attributes and the things around you that are going to benefit you, Cyrus.
Yeah, I suppose.
My bodger on cheating there.
That Lepo is honestly not advert. He's not like, this isn't the first time he's played on bad connection. Let's be honest. He's had some points a little bit unstable, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. I can't remember exactly where he lives, but it's a little bit further away. V-Pain, though, is the guy that initiates the grappling, so he's the one that seems to be a little bit more comfortable with this, and he is really, really attacking right now. He's like hunting for submissions, trying to get crucifix. Been very aggressive in it, J-Diamond. That could go for him or against him, but they find back on the feet now.
Yeah, that's good composure by Masvidal to get to his feet. But V-Pain, now we've seen what his game plan is. He looks like he's a grappler more than he's a striker, Humble.
Yeah, possibly. You know, he did all right in his grappling. He held him down for a better period of time. Maybe it's just to mix it up. Who knows? Lepo catches him though, and maybe J-Dime was right there. We'd expect him to initiate then the grappling though, getting the clinch, maybe going for a takedown, but he gets caught.
Yeah. See, with Lepo, he's really doing a good job of firing out that straight. It's like interrupting his opponents, but that time V-Pain's waited it out. J-Dime let the straight land, blocked the combination, shot for his takedown. Got it, but that high ping obviously giving him a little bit difficulties in denying, I would imagine. Both guys having a lot of issues stopping any transitions right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. From this first round, we've learned a lot about V-Pain. He really doesn't want to be on the feet too much. He wants to be a grappler. He wants to wrestle, Humble.
Yeah, he's not using his jab too much. He wants to take it to the ground. He wants to control his opponent for the longest period of time as he can. I think that's a very close round, Cyrus. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the most damage, weirdly enough, I actually think came from Lepo. Because I think that it was close because of the amount of top control V-Pain had. But
did you see that, Cyrus?
Nah, I missed the SIGs. What was it, zero?
Zero.
Pain? Yeah, he went 0 for 20 on significant strikes. So
That's tough, bro. That's tough.
So he lost that round.
Yeah, solidly, actually, if those are the stats. But with Lepo coming into this one now, like I said, he needs to do what he started setting up in that first round, Humble. He was planting and firing that straight often and early, and it was giving V-Pain some issues closing the distance and going for the takedown because he was getting caught in the startup of the animation.
Nice.
Jesus!
Beautiful double uppercut. Nice combination there. I was going to say, yeah, and the slip off that centre line, catching him, he just got it as well. And you can see V-Pain go into plan A, B and C there, J-Dime straight to the grappling.
Yeah, that's his plan A, B, and C. Like you said, that's his everything. And to me, he has shown me that there's not much layers to his game. So he has one plan, and if it don't work, he won't keep sticking to it. He's going to keep trying to force the hip toss to grappling. There got to be some adjustments, Humble.
Oh, yeah, gets a takedown right there. And now, it's crazy to see Nate Diaz as a wrestler, Cyrus. It's like Division 1 Bo Nickel right there.
Bro, he's grabbing that ankle, and he is securing takedown after takedown, but gets reversed pretty quickly. And this is the problem. Nate Diaz, just as dangerous off his back, if not more dangerous, with that rubber guard, the submissions he can throw.
Oh,
going for one right here.
Interesting. Kind of... that's it.
He has to chase him around the corners because he's going deep corners every time.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah, but maybe that's just information that he's gathering for the. With there, what's going on here? What happened there? It went all of a sudden went really big, and then he's gonna get to mount. This is a really bad position for V-Pain.
Maybe it was a deliberate thing for young Lepo to advance position.
Maybe, yeah.
Bro,
that was, to me, he had a dominant position. He had a mount. After I would have sat there and I would have ground and pounded him because there's no sub threat from there. That's a dominant position. Even if you're winning, you don't want to give up a dominant position, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I think, like, especially given the slight connection issues, if you could like just rain down some top mount ground and pound, like that's gonna be difficult to block, bro. That's gonna be very difficult to block.
But it seemed like he didn't want to stay there. Maybe we've seen before the way guys are winning on their feet, they go to the ground, they stay on top for too long, like in a defensive position, get sweeped, and all of a sudden the other guys wasted 2 minutes on top of you and you're kind of losing the round. So maybe he thought the best position for him was on the feet. I agree with him though. On the feet seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, for sure. As long as he can stop this takedown. And that is one way to do it right there.
Lepo.
The toughness of Nate Diaz is the only reason he's still alive right now. And now he hip toss him. Now this is the key to this fight. If you're going to hip toss your Jorge, grapple on your terms. You know,
yeah.
When he's
still grappling there, isn't he, Jay?
Oh
my God.
Oh my God.
He doesn't want anything in the ground. He's like, nah, no chance. That's your only chance. That's good though. Like some people don't realize. People don't realize that's the best shot. Like, don't grapple the guy and you've won.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This is brutal.
My God.
This is
She's just standing there as a victim.
And he's going to take it this time, right?
I mean, I thought it was because he dished out the pin. You know, it wasn't the opposite way around. I mean, he's got Nate as well.
We have seen Lepo in this position before, though, Humble, where he has been far ahead in a fight and he just throws it goddamn way. So he has to make sure not to do that, because he landed a Derek Lewis type uppercut right there. He is lucky that he survived. Only Nate Diaz's chin could have survived that shit.
Yeah. V-Pain's ears just went up Jay down like, what did Cyrus just say? Every time he just wait for us to fight, and he's just thinking, I've got a chance this round just for something mental. Lepo's going to do something crazy, and I'm going to win the fight.
I'll tell you the problem too. I'll tell you the problem with this too. He doesn't have an extra layer to his game. This is what you see is what we get. He's going to go for the takedowns. He don't have much on the feet, so when it's time to make an adjustment, he goes back to what he know, and that's shooting for a takedown, and that's why he caught the uppercut on the way in, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother, exactly right. And, if he doesn't have a corner, he needs a corner right now to tell him to get behind that jab and set everything up, because these takedowns, it's not enough when you're getting rocked each round. It's not enough. You've got to do some damage with it. So set up behind your jab. Like, he's just not throwing. He's not entering range correctly, Humble. Do you know what I mean?
Listen. I think it's over though. Like what Lepo can do right now, he can just trade in the pocket and take. He can allow the guy to hit him, and then just fire back.
It's maybe past the point of no return for him now. But the thing is, you know what it is, bro. If he breaks his block once, his stamina's still high enough where he can rip one of those kill combos. So we'll see, but it's tough. It's tough.
Evil.
Another takedown, guys, and I'm willing to bet right now that Nate Diaz doesn't have over 15 significant strikes landed in this fight.
Do you know what? I think you're right. Well, maybe we didn't get bets up for this fight, but maybe we should do bets under or over, so like significant.
Yeah, we need a bet. Man, he needs a bet.
Which round? Which round they're going to knock each other out? Oh, no, you got the turn. You could do it. Let's go, Payne. No, in their chat. Imagine he comes back, right? Imagine Payne somehow miraculously gets a submission or some crazy sort of win in this fight. If he does that, this might be the greatest comeback I've ever seen in my life, because it's just been a battering so far. A battering with a few cuddles. That's what I'd say.
See, the thing is, though, because of the jumpiness of the connection, like I say, I don't actually put too much on him on this one. Maybe he's just struggling with the old, but he does seem to be so committed to this takedown. Jesus. Jesus. He's been training with Khabib, I guess.
Yeah, no, he for sure has been training with Khabib. The problem is, when you're a wrestler, you need to be able to set up your takedowns and not telegraph them. He's not throwing hands. He's not utilizing a jab or straight. He's just going straight for a takedown, and that's why he's losing this fight, because there's nothing else to his game right now, Humble.
Yeah, I feel like the Masvidal flying knee is like the perfect sort of knockout shot here, Cyrus. It's got to come. I've got a feeling it's just going to land. Lepo's going to get up right now and catch him that flying. It's just so perfect when someone's throwing them shots.
Yeah, I mean, Lepo seems considerably more comfortable just in the game. The connection aside, he is just kind of shooting takedown after takedown. So
why is he still? Diaz is a zombie right now.
Yeah, old lever chin.
Oh, Jesus, bro.
Oh, he's still alive. Like,
finish him, bro.
He's got nothing left. He's got nothing left. Ref, Herb did it. Herb, no wonder. It's Herb, guys. Herb that did it.
Respect.
Well, that's next one. What's the next one, Cyrus?
What's the next one?
Can I please see the significant strikes? I actually want to see how much.
Yeah. I might have clicked next. I will let you know, okay? Because these guys are in the background. If they show, I will read it out. I don't think that he's going to. However,
we need to see the stats. Exactly. Go to MMA. We need to see the stats.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he landed over 15 significant strikes there too, but I just think he needed more versatile game plan, setup, use his hands, set up his grappling. All jokes aside, though.
Yeah, honestly, I think V-Pain is the one streaming. I don't think that he wants to add to this, so I don't think he's going to click into it. But it's okay. We will move on to the next one nice and swiftly. Bit of an odd one to start us out, but Lepo gets a W. Continues. He's got a positive record this season. He was on a -1. He had lost his last one out, so I'm sure he's going to be happy to be back into the win column. Up next, however, is Easy Work up against Jovi Rami. Jovi Rami is a guy that I have never seen compete personally before, but I'm intrigued to see how he stacks up against Easy Work, a man that, much like Lepo, very similarly to Lepo, has actually been very, very active this season, Humble, been putting in the work. No easy work, however, Primetime is giving him wins and losses on both sides of the equation. Currently on a -1, much like Lepo was, and trying to bounce back into that win column up against a guy I believe who is debuting in Jovi.
Yeah, potentially, and this is what he needs to do. He needs to do exactly what Lepo just did, J-Dam. The blueprint's just being set right there for easy work, right? It's just being set, and you can see right there as well, he's going to be confident with the 8-2. It doesn't mean anything. We'll say that right now, because we're going to say it a few times tonight. The records don't mean anything, J-Dam. We've seen people who are 50-2 get beat on there. We've seen people like 10-0. It's crazy what happens under the bright lights.
Exactly, and like you said, the blueprint was set. You got to use your experience. If you've been here longer, it actually doesn't matter how good the person is. You can just use the experience. Is a great thing, and it's hard, and you got to put in the hours to get experience, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. There is no kind of substitute for hard work and preparation, and these guys are the guys that are always in there. They're always active. They're always trying to get that work going. So at least I know that that's the case from easy work. But as you can see, Jovi seems a little bit spicy with the striking, double rip to the body, going up top as well. There, Humble seems to be meeting Lola as much in that center of the cage as he can. But seems like this guy is here to throw some hands at the moment.
Oh, yeah. He's gone crazy with the hands. Yeah, and Lola's got... You feel like Jovi should be the sniper, and it should be easy work putting in sort of the combination shots J-Dime, but this is the opposite way around. Jovi is going crazy with the combinations.
Yeah, sometimes you switch roles, but before I finish talking about this, I figured out how many, not significant, but strikes he landed. He landed 16 strikes total in the fight.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's tough.
The pain.
The pain, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it was good, bro.
The dad jokes have started. The dad jokes have started.
Impeccable timing, as always there, Humble. I love it, bro. Big front kick lands from Easy Work. I feel like Easy Work's, maybe coming to this not knowing who the guy was. Maybe, look past him a little bit, but he's definitely earned his respect early, and you can see that Easy Work's trying to go to the body quite a lot right now. He's trying to play catch up and get himself a little bit ahead in terms of the stamina to go into those later rounds right there.
Yeah, I feel like Jovi's just slightly nervous as well, but he's doing really good work to the body. I can feel him it almost feels like he's a bit too, I don't know, you can kind of see it in his energy, J-Dime, but he's doing fantastic to hit that body, kind of constantly keeping Easy Work working, essentially, and he's doing damage throughout this round, not losing too much stamina as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically you said you can feel like, when someone's kind of nervous. You can kind of tell it's a feeling. You can see it, though.
Needs to relax into it,
Head health of Easy Work was looking a little bit suspect right there. A couple of combinations from Kevin Holland starting to get through that block. Nice little rip to the body as well there, Humble, going under some of the strikes of Easy Work in return.
Yeah, that's beautiful work from Rami, and it needs to be Easy Work that capitalizes on some of the patterns. Essentially, someone's got the body quite a bit. You need to land that uppercut, especially when you've got Lola, but it needs to be timed really, really well, and you can't be getting settled for your own sort of counter as well, J-Dime.
Yeah, you're right, and this fight, I don't know how to explain it. This fight looks kind of weird to me right now, Cyrus.
It's back to front.
All I feel like Easy Work is missing from his game right now is the lead hook. If he throws that lead hook, he's going to start destroying Kevin Holland. Because he's ripping to the body a lot, and I think checks it real nice, bro. Checks it real nice, but Kevin Holland, Jovi, just doing a really good job out here, J-Dime, staying active, but he gets blasted with a head kick.
Oh God! Is it over? Is it over?
Good.
No way, bro.
Is it over? He flips him.
That black belt jiu-jitsu there from Kevin Holland.
That was crazy, bro.
That's a nice switch. He got him with the uppercut, beautiful work. He double jab uppercut as well, double jab straight uppercut. So he must have been expecting the head kick, Cyrus, which I don't think he's thrown today. So I'm quite surprised Rami ducked. Maybe that's his natural.
My God.
It may be over for. That uppercut saved him.
Uppercut City from Robbie Lola right there, going back to the well over and over again, trying to continue this onslaught of pressure at the moment. Humble got him pressed up against that cage. Jovi is punching for his life right now.
Nice teep to the body. Great work. He's evened out this fight. I feel like Jovi was winning the first round. Now it's switched to Lola. And if I'm Jovi right now, J-Dime, I'm on damage limitations. I'm trying to stop some of the damage and kind of think, the third round's my round.
Yeah, but he has to circle off that cage too.
Nice.
He has to make Robbie respect him, because if Robbie stuns him one more time, I think the match ends, Humble.
Possibly. He started pressing though, which we didn't see. We saw Jovi going towards easy work. Now he's gained that center of the rear position. Good work. He listened to you.
Yeah, I think maybe like, you know, yeah, I don't know if anybody's done like arm wrestling right before, but like somebody, you can just let somebody blow out all their energy in that first round. I feel like that's what Easy Work did early on in this fight. He was making his reads, just took his time, and now he's, you know, got the momentum in his favor. He is relentlessly pressuring Holland.
Yeah, but it's kind of to his downfall. Oh my god, no, it's not. I lied.
It ain't that. It's that.
What I was going to say is that Kevin Holland, Jovi, is landing body shots where he's walking in, but now he's getting caught with big shots. Oh my god! Oh my days!
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful work right there. Played possum in the early section of that round, turned the tides very, very quickly. Easy Work GG, making it look easy out there with a beautiful setup and finish. J-Dime gonna be proud of his work, I'm sure.
Yeah, he picked Kevin Holland's apart. Arthur Holland. He picked Kevin Holland apart there, and his opponent can learn from this. Jovi can learn because he's new here. So he can use this as motivation to fuel him to get better from here, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. We said at the start of the fight that I could feel his nervous energy. I could see in his movement, like it was too much going on. You know, Cyrus, there wasn't enough pausing and then striking and then kind of, because the amount of moving he was doing, it wasn't kind of defending anything. Like he wasn't sidestepping too much. He wasn't going in like a circular pattern. He wasn't trying to like do that or backstep and anything like that. He was just kind of coming in and out real quick. And these shots kind of replicated that. Not Lepo. He got the rhythm there. He got the speed, and basically Easy Work did a fantastic job of finding out and picking his patterns.
Yeah, I completely agree. Easy Work, like I said, had difficulties in the early part, I feel like, but I mean, I honestly now think after the second half, into that second and third round, the way he switched it up, he just looked like a different player. I almost feel like he was playing possum to try and see how Jovi came into this fight, because like I said, Jovi, you know, may not have had footage on him in the past. Like I don't think I've ever called his fights before. I believe it was a debut. We'll get that confirmed, but Easy Work played that very, very sensibly and showing his veteran savvy in that matchup. I look forward to seeing what he does going forward, because if he fights like that, you know, in future, I feel like a focused Easy Work is a dangerous Easy Work, to say the least. With that being said, though, we shall move straight on to the next one. Another veteran, well, in fact, both of them, veterans of the scene. Guys that are typically in or amongst that top 10. They are currently just outside of that, both still top 15. Ranked number 12, KM Lilo, up against M-Town's finest in KM M-Town. This one is an Xbox matchup that is honestly set to be absolutely fireworks, Humble. Two sensational competitors that we've called many, many fights of over the years, putting on incredible highlight finishes.
Yeah, exactly, and something we haven't talked about yet as well. We are ending the season pretty soon, Cyrus. That Grand Prix is coming, and the top 16 guys from both the PlayStation, Xbox division, if you are new, they will play in that Grand Prix or get invited to it to see if they can play, essentially. So everyone's battling for positions, essentially, J-Dime, to try and get into the Grand Prix. It's the biggest event of the year. You might fight for a title in your first fight, you know, you might get lucky, so yeah.
Exactly, you explained it perfectly too. And in the Grand Prix, like I love when we see surprises. Like that one time Ginger looked like the best fighter in the world for a little bit. Like I always bring that up because Ginger was playing out his mind. Then when Fadinator ran through everybody, like the Grand Prix that's the biggest moment of the season, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. He that gets brought up once every event, because he is a mythical creature. He is a mythical creature, bro. Like it's just one of those things. But yeah, no, it is one of the best ways that, you know, I was so happy when we brought in the Grand Prix. It was an instant success and continues to set up each and every season phenomenally. It allows everybody to get off the mark in a big, you know, in a big way, and it allows for like breakthrough performances, like you said, with Ginger in the past. And I know that Lilo, M-Town's finest, they're the type of guys that want to not only do as good as they have in the past, they want to completely surpass their competition. They have high, lofty, you know, expectations about what they can do within these promotions. So these fights, every single one of them, Humble, as big of a fight as the, you know, as the next. Every fight is their biggest fight, and these guys understand that, and they come and perform on the night like their life depends on it.
Yeah, 100%. Two fantastic guys right now fighting for that position, fighting for a big position in the future to try and get on that event. But I'm not having Jay going about Ginger. Like, Ginger's fighting tonight, he's fighting CV, he's 3-0. He is undisputed on Xbox.
No, not Ginger's not fighting him no more. It's not Ginger.
Oh,
no, it's God of MMA versus CV.
Still a good fight. But yeah, I thought Ginger was fine. But he's 3-0 on PlayStation was my point. He's not lost, so he's still doing well.
Jesus,
Anyway.
bro. KM Lilo has come out of the gates very, very quickly, instantly tagging up that body of M-Town's finest. Oh, the Xbox audio glitch has come in. Dino, I feel like Dino wished it into existence. He was like, oh, it's the glitch is here, and it wasn't, and now it is. So
well, you can tell by the start of the fight when they like disappeared, can't you? They had a bit of a weird one at the start because you couldn't see each character, so I know what he's saying because you can sometimes check. But yeah, maybe not. Nice shot.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's getting a little bit wild out there, trying to be a bit unorthodox. Jay throwing out like the lead body roundhouse and shit. But I feel like Lilo.
Oh my God!
Clipped.
He just got shotgunned. That's what just happened. And here's the thing: I always respect a Sadiq Yusuf pick. Even though it's featherweight Dustin, I appreciate that Yusuf pick because Yusuf got some power in his hands and he's just a solid fighter. He has solid fundamentals, solid grappling. He's just solid all the way around, Humble.
Yeah, he's got everything, right? And there was someone in the chat saying that he doesn't know why he picked him, but you just named every single reason, Jedi.
A lot of power. He's underrated pick, right? And but obviously everybody knows, I suppose, the caliber of Lilo's pick here with Dustin Poirier. Very, very solid pick in every weight class. Doing a really good job of getting his boxing going in this round as well. Jeez.
Nice work, comes back with the jab as well. Straight left coming there. Nice boxing from Yusuf. Really catching Poirier J Dime in the pocket. And he's kind of winning those exchanges at the moment.
He is. He's almost winning every exchange. Every time they exchange, Dustin Headhell start blinking because Sadiq Yusuf has already built up an early lead on the damage, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. And once you're behind in terms of the damage, it can be very difficult to enter the pocket properly because, of course, your opponent's able to exchange and get ahead very, very easily. M-Town's finest, putting on a really good performance right now, but I just feel like, it was a quick adjustment. Jesus.
Nice work.
Oh.
That's how you answer back right there, Humble. Get a little bit angry with it. Get a bit dirty. Take it to...
Yeah, he did well. He kind of set him up for a trap. Landed really well. Then he came back with it straight afterwards as well in that combination. But that's what he's got to do, Jay Diamond. Kind of change the tide of this fight right there. Beautiful work.
Dustin needs a moment because, it is competitive, but he needs that moment because Yusuf has dropped him and stunned him. He's already got his head held low, and Dustin has the power to take his head held down, Cyrus.
Exactly right. Both these guys hit like a truck, but especially Dustin Poirier, right? Like Dustin has heat seekers in those hands. Got him pressed up right now. I feel like M-Town is maybe using a little bit too much preemptive head movement. That may get him caught out here, Humble, because Lilo is a guy that, a young guy that is out here, and his reaction time and his ability to adjust is still very, very much at the top tier that you can get. And he's going to make that read. He's going to catch you.
Yeah, he is, especially if you're moving your head too much like you mentioned. There's a couple of different choices you've got right there. The leg kicks, the body shots, any sort of kicks as well, J-Dime. If you're moving your head too much, could land a bit more damage when you're doing that. So maybe he'll capitalise onto that. But he needs to move his head because he's getting plastered at the moment, right, innit?
Yeah. I want to... Oh.
Nice turn, takedown.
Nice. I was going to ask Cyrus what adjustments Dustin needs to make right now, but that's a good takedown, Cyrus.
Yeah, start mixing in that grappling for sure, right? And if he can get any success here, great. If not, because M-Town is pretty savvy on the mat, like, honestly, I feel like start using your jab and start using your inside leg kick. Just, like, start using those two little tools, and you can really start to pick apart. Because he's got a little bit of a reach advantage, I do believe, but he's just allowing right now. He's allowing M-Town to be first.
He's losing the stamina battle. Beautiful work, catches him. He lands the uppercut, but the head movement again. Moves it to the right. Beautiful. Tries to go for a takedown. He's making him work, or he's working himself, actually. So I've realised I've just switched. Yeah, but the stamina battle, Cyrus, that's the problem. He's lost that, and now that's where those opportunities that he's starting to get himself back at the fight, he can't continue striking because he's got less stamina.
Woo! Yeah, and he is compromised right now with M-Town's finest smelling blood in the water, pressuring evading every shot that's thrown his way with ease right now, J-Dime, and landing counters. This is a tough spot for Lilo to be in. He needs to dig deep and pull it out of the fire to get this W.
Yeah, and also keep piecing him up. He can get his body health low too because he has no stamina right now. He's at a big deficit, and I don't know what he's going to do right now, Humble.
Beautiful. He's starting to feint, which I like. He's fighting with his body movement, going in, but looking like he's going to sort of enter the pocket and strike, and then he's getting him to kind of fire back. Beautiful work, though.
See how much he punched him then? He punched him across the octagon.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
Lilo on the edge right here. The crowd is going nuts. We have chants of let's go Lilo, but he's getting tagged.
Hey, let's go Lilo is not going to be enough. We need more than that. We need people hopping the cage with him. Let's go Lilo doesn't help anybody.
He needs weapons right now, J-Dime, because he is getting pummeled. But can he get back to his feet for all his Doran fans and make one last? Got to rally Cyrus. Yeah. He needs to knock him out. He needs to be now.
It does, bro. Like, look, there's 6 minutes, 8 seconds left in this fight, and he is trying to do everything he can. He's moving his head, trying to bait out stuff, but he just keeps getting tagged. The timing is impeccable from M-Town's finest here this evening. Somebody check that man's water ball, Humble. I don't know if this is legal or not, bro.
His head drops so much. Like, I feel like I'm watching Nate all over again, J-Dime.
Yeah, I need some more Let's Go Lilo chants because they can't help him right now. It's over.
Damn.
Golly, great performance. That was beautiful. And I hate that it had to be Lilo, but yeah, that was beautiful.
100%. Look, it's hard to see Lilo go that way, but that was savagery personified right there. He was absolutely clinical in his approach. He got caught very, very early on. I feel like he came out like a tiny bit cold. Lilo caught him with some blistering combinations, and he woke the fuck up very, very quickly. And then when he was on. He just, propelled himself to that finish. Like I say, absolute violence personified there. Humble, beautiful, beautiful performance from M-Town's finest. A big win over a tough opponent. And now he's going to be putting himself back into that top 10 or nearly that top 10 with that win and securing himself potentially a fight in that Grand Prix, depending on these last couple of cars. He's earning that rank. He's earning that big opportunity around the corner.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's why he proved tonight he's the finest, J-Dime. That was a beautiful performance. He's the fantastic fighter, and he did it with a character that we're not used to seeing as well. I like that in a veteran sort of savvy guy, somebody who uses somebody that not everyone sees every single day against somebody that we do. So fantastic performance, fantastic win for him, propels him right up the rankings.
Yeah, that was art. That was a work of art. That's the best Sadiq Yusuf performance I've seen to date. If he can replicate that in real life, Sadiq Yusuf may be on the road to the top of the featherweight division.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. Look, this entire card is a short one here this evening, lads, but we've got some really, really fun fights set ahead of us. We are, of course, only just getting to the halfway mark of the prelims, and things are starting to heat up there, Mr. Humbledink. The next one up is between two guys that we have seen many a time step into this cage, put on sensational performances, a lot of highlights in their resume. Guys who like to talk a little trash and get a little heated sometimes going into their events as well, but it's Dino stepping in there up against STK Storm. Bantamweight is the weight class. Two guys that are going to be familiar with each other and ready to put on a performance here this evening.
Exactly that. You'd expect these two to be, these used to be on the main card, J-Dime. Both of them been challenging for a title before, and one of them been champion. So essentially, these guys are familiar with the main event or main sort of picture of the card, but they find themselves in the prelims at the moment fighting for the spot.
Here's the thing. I love this fight because Dino was once a contender and Storm was once a champion, and just on paper this is a great fight. And Dino told me the other day that this is his road back, this is his redemption story, but his redemption story can't start unless he beats Storm, and I don't think that's easy by any measure.
Completely agree with you, bro. So honestly, both these guys are incredibly dangerous. They're like, they just have all the tools, right? They have all the relevant tools. They can do it on the feet. They can do it on the mat, Humble. To get submissions, knockouts. There isn't many things that they haven't got on their resume.
Yeah, both of them are fantastic grapplers mainly as well. Like, they can both grapple for days, so that's what that means. We're going to see a striking match here, Dan.
Yeah, there's two great grapplers. We're going to see a striking match like Kobe Covington versus Kamaru Usman. And someone said in the chat, this is the battle of the chins.
This could be one shot and done, you know. Either way. I like the picks though because one of them's a legendary. I don't play Upper Hours too much, but we've seen seen fantastic performances in PT by guys like Ed Parker and a few other guys. So we know that can be done. We know that there's you can play well with him. Maybe people don't try, but Cody's got 98 power in his hands.
Yeah, he has amazing Muay Thai, bro. He has amazing Muay Thai, and he's actually a fun matchup up against somebody like Cody, who's so fast, but the majority of it is in his hands. So the ability to use those kicks, excellent. But you were right to react there, J Dime. That was a beautiful takedown denial right there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful late reversal right there too. And Dino's going to be persistent, as we know. Maybe we're not going to get a striking match. Maybe he's going to try to prove that his wrestling is better, Humble.
We talked about grappling as well, but usually both of these guys are better offensive wrestlers. But Dino getting switched right there very early is a bad sign for him.
Yeah, not exactly where he wants to be. Henbrow is pretty dangerous off his back, though. I believe he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Cody Garbrandt decides to separate. Storm decides he wants to continue to throw those hands, but eats a front kick out here, J-Dime, and stopping the takedown straight away after.
Here's the thing. Storm is doing a great job stopping the takedown, but if I'm Dino, I'm going to chill with the takedowns just... Oh, never mind. Just keep shooting for takedown. He switched up the takedown. I was going to say, if he shoot the same takedown over, I was going to be mad, Humble.
He's doing, obviously he did a different one, a hip toss right there, and he lands inside saddle, but he got sweeped last time, so you know he's still persistent. Like you said, he won't stop. He'll try and learn your patterns slowly and surely, and then eventually he can have a long period of time where he's on top and kind of doing some damage to your time. That's going to be his game plan throughout this fight. He's going to try and do some damage, hurt you on the ground. If he can't hurt you, he'll try and get a decision. If he gets back to his feet, hopefully that damage just can kind of transcend to a kill.
Oh, and here's the thing. But if I'm Storm, I'm going to just make sure, deny, not take too much damage. It's 1 minute left in the round. In this position, he may have the ground control, but don't give him no big shots from here, Cyrus.
No, exactly, bro. Exactly right. Like Dino's a guy that, like, you know, he's not really going to easily give up position. He'll kind of do what he needs to stay down here. Honestly, I was kind of laughing at the chat going into this one, the Twitch chat. You seen like the Dino, the Decisionator gamer, just like stuff like that. It's like, but it is great. Storm's like savvy on the mat, though, isn't he? Humble, like he knows what he's doing down here. He isn't going to be easily held down and just kind of, you know, manhandled for 3 rounds.
You're acting like I would know that from experience, which I do.
Which you do, bro. Which you do.
Which I do, which is really bad because, you know, I've been underneath. Well, I'm not going to go there. I've been underneath Storm, Cyrus. You know, this has been a traumatic experience for me. I've got like war sirens going off my head at the moment.
Well, like, what were the stats there? What were the stats? Dino a little bit ahead.
He got a rock.
Wait, I'm blind. I thought Cody's little head. I don't know.
Winning, yeah. I don't know why. It looked like Cody's winning towards stats. But in that round, I felt like Dino controlled majority of it. He did get swept twice, though. He took him down.
Oh my goodness.
Spears in the house.
With the spear.
Let's go.
Dirty Dino in the house. Get in that spear.
Dirty Dino. That's amazing. Dirty Dino in the house, Cyrus. That's amazing. That's crazy. Dirty Dave's like created his. That's what you need to do as a fighter. You know, UFC 5's going soon. Create your own sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so good. What Dave used to rock you and then spear. It's so cool to watch. Nice work. Gets the side control to Diamond. He's He realised that he's hurt him on the feet, right? But I don't want to kind of stay there because he might come back at the fight. I'm just going to dominate the next minute or two on the ground.
Minute winning. That's what Dino's doing right now. He's minute winning, and he can afford to do this because he has stunned him already. So now he's in his world with no pressure, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. And he's going to try and chip away at the head health and the stamina of Cody. He did get switched last time. It doesn't stop him. This is what good grapplers do. People think good grappling comes from getting it right every single time. A lot of times it's just being consistent, being on it all the time and not giving up on it. Even if you get sweep, Cyrus is just constantly going until they break.
Exactly right, bro. Exactly right. They're trying to take him into areas that he's just not comfortable in right now. Dino Gamer, who's a guy that recently has been throwing, like a lot of hands. He was trying to prove a point on the feet. I feel like he's kind of gone back to his roots now. And, it's doing a lot better for him as well there, J-Dime. But just before, I will say, Fia Vonnie's got some jokes.
I've been reading what he's been saying in the chat, too.
He's a character.
Yeah. It's crazy because this is when fighters start fighting better on Primetime. When they stop trying to prove a point and they start playing their game, because winning should be first. If you're a Dino, you shouldn't have to prove you can strike. You have to mix it in as an MMA match. And Storm's doing a good job since he got to his feet. But yeah, you have to mix it in. It's MMA. You don't got to prove to nobody, Humble.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, that's not a lie.
J-Dime's lying to you right now. We've got 100% finish rate so far on this prime time. And Dino's broke that 5 or 6 times this year, J-Dime. He's always annoyed people. You know what I mean? Like, he's always just not got that finish. And sometimes it's purposely done, Cyrus.
Well, do you know what? I reckon if we go back to last season and we find that 2% of times that we actually had a decision, it was actually like 1.8, I think it was, right? That 1.8% of time that we had decisions, I reckon that was all Dino. Dino or Dave, right? It was Dino or Dave. Like, one of the two.
The decision maker? No, he's clearly trying. He's got a great game plan. Don't want to go off it, but I am right though. We're 100% win rate, and J-Dime is correct. This is what you should do to move up the rankings of PT. I just thought about entertaining people. That's all I care about. That's our job, though.
Yeah, so, but you don't fight to look good. You fight to win. Just to look good while you're winning. You get me?
Yeah. No, like you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. And like, all jokes aside, this is one thing about Dino. He's got a good sense of humor. We can rip him a little bit, but
my kick. The one of the rare times it works in PT.
Yeah, look. Oh my god!
Never mind. That's karma. That's karma.
You messed about.
It's karma.
Getting back to his feet, Storm, like that. Why are you messing about there? Like that is. We talked about this earlier on, and you said, "Why did that guy get up from Nate Diaz, or Nate Diaz get up or get off him?" And it's because of this. You don't want to grapple with a guy. He turns you around, and then now all your momentum's gone. All of it. You just sucked the air out of the room, Cyrus.
Yeah, well, I mean, for him, this is fantastic, of course. He was on death's door a moment ago, so if your opponent wants to follow you down, you risk getting top mount within 30 seconds. That's not exactly where you want to be, but nice little deny for right now. Cody seems to be coming to his senses, doing a good job of denying.
Oh, that's smart to go for that transition. And here's the thing, Storm, why would you do that? Now you're stuck on bottom. Oh, but never mind. Maybe he had a plan, Humble.
Yeah, just get up. Like, you've been winning on the feet, you know what I mean? Like, you're catching him on the feet. You got 98 power in your hands. And this, if you grapple with him, this what happens, It's, he's good. It's too good. Both of them are too good, so they're just stalling at the moment. This is great for Dino, because they're both just kind of rolling around Cyrus like they're having a fight in the front room.
Yeah, no, for sure. Bro. This has been a pretty back and forth fight. We will have to see. I think that there's 2 minutes left, and is Dino won this right now? Is he winning this?
I don't know. Maybe I think so.
I think it's 1-1, right?
I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge. I don't know.
Trying to secure it.
Right.
It's got 2 minutes to work still, and who knows? Because did he get dropped in this round or rocked?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, so it's kind of whoever wins the majority rest. We've seen crazier things happen. We've seen crazier decisions going away. And thank you, CV, for the gifted sub to John Africa. Thank you so much, CV. It helps us. All goes in the pot to try and help you guys and towards production and all sorts of other stuff. So thank you so much. If you do want to join Primetime Mma as well, we're going to put a Discord link in the chat right now. You can compete every single week like these guys do and be on one of these big shows. There's a diff comes right there, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely sensational. A lot of people appreciate the action, my man. The support has been coming through all night. On that point, we may as well take the moment. Matrix Born coming through massive amounts of support. Of course, like you said, CV. J-Dime just came in with his own gifted community sub. We appreciate you, brother. Smudger was in the background. We see Ultimate earlier. We appreciate all the support. It is absolutely massive to obviously helping us continue to keep this thing getting bigger and better, like you said there, Mr. Hummeldink. And I feel like these guys react to it when there's some stuff going on, right? When there's a lot of hype behind the fight, the guys really uplift their skill and try to go for those finishes. Didn't quite get it, making it look at the end of the round, but getting very active after it. Got to be Dinos. I would imagine. Did he just quit? I didn't see. What happened?
I think he just checked and quit. He's like, I lost that, right? I don't even know who won the fight. Don't know who won the fight. So who's streaming, Cyrus?
Yeah, who was streaming? Because that was Storm. Okay, so...
Okay.
Oh, no, he lost the fight.
So Storm suspended. Right, okay. So thanks Storm for that. That's beautiful work. We don't have no clue who won the fight. Cheers for that, pal. Great work.
I know who won the fight.
Fucking hell, Storm. Thank you,
If it's
man.
1-1, we know who won the last one.
Thanks for helping us out there, brother. Jesus, man.
Well,
What's happening? What's going on?
I know, it's craziness, bro. Absolutely. It happens, though. It happens. What happens here? Sorry.
30-27 just to Dino it was, so it looks like Dino kind of got every single round here, Dime, so nice work from Dino, gets the win, moves, as he said earlier, he was going to into that top echelon of the fight, and he really needed that, so good work from him.
Yeah, I told you, he told me that this was his redemption story. But, you know, words are just words, because Storm is a dog. Storm is like that, so to beat Storm is a great start for him on his road to redemption.
Yeah, it's road to redemption, Cyrus. Yeah, sorry, what's happening?
No, my bad. Sorry, I was just trying to play a little bit of catch up on the back. I believe that there's been a little bit of an adjustment. Fight 4 is back on. Okay, that's great. So, but it will be Blake v Caliber. So just as an adjustment, Fight 5 will be Blake v Caliber as a late adjustment. Is that Boy Dong? But I'm assuming. I think it's on the.
Yeah, Nick, our friend.
Yeah, no, but listen to me. I am going to say I am cheering for Caliber. I think he wins that fight because what happened to retirement? What happened to retirement? A few weeks ago, Blake said this was his last PT fight. You know, some people have an addiction to just competition. Like, it don't matter if they say, I'm done. They're going to eventually come back.
He's right.
Yeah, he is. Look, with this one, so as you see, it says Moolah TT up against Samurai Robin. Unfortunately, that fight is not going ahead. So in its place, why is this saying M-Town's Finest? I think there might be a bit of a mistake. We've got M-Town's Finest for some reason up against Boy Dong. Maybe it's... Is that what's happening? We'll take a moment, guys. We're just going to take a slight moment as we get information from the back. Unless that's the account the Caliber is playing on. That would be quite odd, of course. But what we will do actually for the moment, just to save the umming and ahhing, is that we will move forward to the next one while we get some information on kind of what's happening with that one. So technically, this is the featured fight of the prelims, and it will be between Fran and Naz Nim. Two guys that have been around the scene for quite some time now, Humble. Fran, you know, like we were speaking about Lepo, who've been really active. Fran might be one of the most active guys this season.
Yeah, he might be one of the most active guys. He fought for a title as well against Fadinator J-Dime. I watched that recently, and so has Naz Nim. So these two guys have fought for belts. They know what it's like to be up there. One of them's hungry to get up there, and they're going to have to kind of push and press in a tough fight against each other to do that. Because I remember when Naz Nim was undefeated across 2 seasons at one point, and he fought for that belt, and unfortunately he came up short against Fad. Similar to Fran, one of these guys is going to have to prove himself, and they're the featured fight for a reason.
Listen to me. It is 2 dogs who have been proven in Primetime MMA, and they're trying to make their way back up there because, you know, eventually everyone won a title shot, and it starts here. This is where it starts, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. It starts right here. The featured prelim. This is picked in a special position for a purpose, Cyrus. These guys are kind of leading everybody into the pay-per-view, and these guys are the guys to feature our talent below, and they're both ranked like top 15, so they both know exactly what it's like to be up there for title contenders like we talked about. So it's going to be a fantastic fight, hopefully.
Yeah, I expect big things. Fran always brings the action, win or loss, right? Like I said, a lot of these guys are on kind of like 50-50 records. It's because they're entertaining fighters. They're really willing to leave it all out there. So he's going to be trying to push the action, but he's going up against Lola, which we all know, especially with somebody like Blake, is a bit of a dangerous matchup because he's got heavy hands, and Blake does like to throw those very early. But he's getting clipped with me saying all that.
So, here's the thing. I like the Kelvin Gastelum pick. I love it because he's a southpaw. He has underrated boxing, and I think Robbie Lawler's not that tall of a fighter where the range should mean something, Humble.
Yeah, at the same time, you know, he can get in the pocket and really kind of. I think he's faster. He's got better attributes in the pocket. The wrestling's where it comes into play for Gastelum, but it's using that. And if it's Hayes Fran's gonna even try to, because it looks like he's happy to contend with Robbie Lawler in the pocket, Cyrus.
No, exactly right. Oh Jesus! What is going to the body? Very, very nicely. The leg kick attacking the outside very, very cleanly as well. He's actually got him cut over that left eye for Robbie Lawler. I know it doesn't actually impact, but at least visually, he's going to start opening him up. It's a clear sign that Paige Fran's finding some killer blows right now. J-Dime gets the sit down, unable to follow up with the death kick.
Oh, nice. I just wish on UFC 4 that you could target if you. Oh, no, Robbie's the one who's stunned. He just doesn't know. Oh, never mind. Robbie's not. It's Calvin. But look, I wish you see that cut. I wish you could target it. Like on this game, you could just target the cut. Just keep jabbing the cut.
Yeah, you're right, J-Dime.
Yeah, like.
But I tell you what, as these guys are battling it out midway as we approach into this first round, once again, Barry, Von Jedi, and CV getting the hype train going out here, Mr. Humbledink. We appreciate the continued support. And what these guys do as well. Big roll.
Naz Nim's going forward for the hype train, essentially trying to take the head of Hayes Fran. These two guys going at it, trying to get up there in the Xbox division. Again, uppercut coming. Beautiful work from Naz Nim. Hayes Fran's holding his own though. He's done so much work to that chin health, J-Dime.
Yeah, Robbie's chin and that eye is toast. Like I said, what you could just jab. I'm assuming that's hitting the eye. That's what I'm assuming, Cyrus.
No one could fuck my way the Cyrus can. Yeah, don't worry. It's one of those ones tonight there, Baron. It's one of those ones, bro.
Nice work. And he's back to a position where essentially, I thought he was going to get the reversal there, J-Dime, but he's going to just get pelleted a bit on the ground here.
Oh, this is a perfect position for Calvin Gastelum. He's going to start ground and pounding Robbie Lawler. And if I'm Robbie, I don't want to be here because I think he only has like an 86 bottom control, Cyrus.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, Fran is doing fantastically. We've got Ali10 in the chat saying that Fran is a machine, and I have to say I agree. This man is. Anybody played FIFA back in the day? You know, you had the engine trait. In fact, we have it on this as well. We have the engine trait, right? That's what he is. He's just non-stop worker. He likes to push the action, really try to test his opponents, and their all-round game of mixed martial arts, because when you're not fighting completely composed and the pace is at an all-time high, your stamina's going to burn a little bit quicker out here, Humble, and that's going to allow him to get ahead. That's what he's banking on as he continues to push this forward.
Yeah, exactly. He's working on the pressure. He's working on the work ethic, as you mentioned right there. He wants to put it on him, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's putting it on him, J-Dime, and it's doing really well for him. Chin!
That's reminiscent of the head kick he hit Izzy with.
Nice work. He gets his back right now. I don't really understand, like, how did he miss a punch there? I missed that. I must have blinked. Did he miss a punch?
He missed a punch.
I blinked.
You know what happens there, Humble.
Yeah, he gets
you need that one opportunity at little moments so you can reverse it.
I was so confused for a second there, Cyrus. Blinked and I was like, why is he on top now?
So many moving parts going on.
What's going on?
Nice move over into side control, unable to stop the transition back into half guard. I have to say that Gastelum here this evening looking very, very clean in his ability to block these transitions. Hey, it's Fran still looking good, although Naz Nim now pressing the action from top mount, and Robbie Lawler's got that crazy ground and pound it. And if he decides to let those hands go from postured up here, J-Dime, he could make this entire fight kind of switch on its head.
Yeah, but I was about to say, he has to do some damage here because he's the one losing. Him just laying on top of him is not enough, Humble.
Yeah, he needs to do something, right? He needs to get some damage off, or maybe something like that. J-Dime, he gets a sus position right there. He gets the side control. The guard break, it's a very sus position. There's some force behind that.
He called it a sus position. You've ever been in that position when you're wrestling?
Nah, none of that. Maybe. We don't speak about the gym. What happens in the gym stays in the gym, that's all I'm saying.
You've definitely been in that position, bro. What are you talking about?
I think we all
You've been
have.
rolled through the truck. It's all good. This is good movement right now. It's good forward pressure. This is a bit of a change up. Hayes Fran was having a lot of success on the feet. Naz Nim now with his top control. Really taking this round and turning it into his own. There's still 1:40 left to go, J-Dime, which is a lot of time to get that ground and pound off, especially from top mount if he's able to hold it.
Yeah, he has to. There we go. I was about to say, he has to do something with this. He has to do some damage. Like I said, laying's not enough. If I'm him, I'm posturing up right now. There we go, and I'll get some shots off.
Yeah, you can even out right now. Beautiful work coming from straight. He's getting every shot he needs to. Head is blinking for Hayes Fran. And he's starting to come back into the fight as he was supposed to. Naz Nim doing a fantastic job of entering sort of where he needs to be. He's got his head blinking. That's the key, Cyrus.
No, exactly right, bro. Exactly right. And he keeps bleeding through that block as well after a couple of consecutive strikes are landing. This is good. This is exactly where Robbie Lawler wants to be.
One shot. He needed one shot. Someone said he already could lift an 18-wheeler. This is more impressive.
He's tough. Calvin Gaston is tough as nails.
Yeah, he's giving him a warrior's death right now. He's fighting for it, bro. He's fighting for it. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that.
How did he survive that? First of all, Calvin Gastelum is tough as nails because there was a few times I thought he was gonna end up getting ground and pounded, humble.
Man, there was some juju going on in the chat right there. John Africa started saying, channel the inner anger. You can lift an 18-wheeler truck. Die with honor. Go out like Valhalla, all this, and all of a sudden, you've seen a different sort of, hey, it's Fran right there. That was beautiful work from both guys, and Naz Nim comes back. Like, amazing fight so far. Fight of the night so far, J-Dime.
I agree.
Yeah, it could be because this is the most memorable right now. Because there's some fights I done forgot already. And I didn't forget.
My goodness.
Oh my God. Oh, is he going to end it?
Combination after combination starting to come away. Good head movement from Naz Nim, keeping himself alive in this one. Hey, it's Fran still hunting for that finish. A lot of time left to work as well, humble. 4 minutes left in the third and final round.
Nice work, beautiful work in Cyrus rallying them on for a finish right there. Someone's got to do it, and these two are going for it. If he threw an uppercut, it was over. He's got to remember, Dan. He was one shot away. He's one shot away. If I'm Naz Nim right now, I'm trying to get rid of the ground and do some work right there because that's where on top I was doing fantastic. Here, not so much.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Oh my God. If he loses this match, he was just winning. Is he going to sell the bag?
No! Gets the reversal! Let's go!
Sub? Oh.
These guys want their names etched in the history books. They want to live forever, and fights like this will help them go down with just that. Absolutely phenomenal. Still 2 minutes 30 left to go. I don't know if my little old heart can take that, humble.
Yeah, my old ass heart, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's gonna pop. So beautiful work from both guys. Oh no, the show drops it. Hey, it's Fran.
It's over. It's over for Robbie, right?
Yes, hey, Fran does it. He does it.
Yep. That's too good, bro. Hey, Fran, digging deep from the trenches through the gauntlet. He fought J-Dime, got a W unlike any other. That is brilliant work by him. He needed that W, and he fought hard for it, bro. Jeez.
Yeah, that wasn't easy. There were some trials and tribulations he had to fight. It wasn't just a walk in the park, but he did what he had to do, and he got the job done. The most important thing is he got to finish.
Exactly.
You got to finish, indeed. And the fans are going crazy in the chat. Matrix donate. I'm going to start believing, Cyrus, the donations and subscriptions to the fighters, because that's what we're going to be paying. And that's what we're going to be paying. And when we get enough money to do it, we're going to be putting on tournaments, live tournaments. So you guys liking the fight Matrix, like that was for that win. That was for that win right there. That's what I'm dedicating that them biddies to.
Hell yeah. No, we can appreciate the sport. Actually, while we were going doing that entire thing, we actually hit a new tier of it. That was the biggest level of support that we've had leading them into this event, and we appreciate every single one of you. Can't say it anymore. Like I said, all of the support from the Shez, the views of the competitors, and obviously all the guys in the back. It has been an emotional ride so far, and as I've said many times, Primetime is only just getting going. Now, Mr. Humbledink, we have one more fight that we are going to pull out of the bag just before we go to the main card, and that is going to be the one that we saw a moment ago. It's going to be Caliber up against obviously Blake. I can confirm that although this will say M-Town's finest, it's because Caliber he's using somebody else's PlayStation. We've done an integrity check. It is him, although the account will say M-Town's finest. So it's Caliber v Blake.
So it's M-Town Caliber.
It's M-Town Caliber.
M-Town Caliber. Yeah, I like that, bro.
No. It's Caliber's finest right here. That's what we got. We got Caliber's finest, you know. Yeah, Caliber's finest or M-Town Caliber. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Caliber stepping in on PlayStation. He's 1-0 at the moment. He's fighting a top tier guy in Blake, somebody who's been up there. A guy that gets in his own head a bit, J-Dan, as we both know.
Let me break down Blake's game here. So, Blake could be the best fighter you ever seen for the first 2 minutes, and somehow he just collapses, and next thing you know, he's the one losing. Like, if Blake had some consistency, honestly, throughout the fight, he could be really good, but it's always Blake versus Blake, and now he's going against a staple in the Xbox community, Cyrus, so it's not going to be any easier.
Yeah, for sure. I can tell you one thing, though, as somebody that used to be an Xbox player, this game feels different on PS, bro, and I don't know how Caliber will adjust to that. It does feel a lot different. I actually feel like you do more damage on PlayStation. I feel like the punches, they feel heavier, and obviously the grappling is quite considerably different as well, but we'll have to see. Lovely work from Blake, look at that!
Blake, remember when Blake was on that win streak where he was like, we don't know what happened, he took some, like, we were all saying he needs to be integrity checked and stuff, and we integrity checked him just in case, because he was just, this is like a phenom. The demon's got inside him. I mentioned this to J Dime earlier. If he's not in his own head, he can be fantastic. If he believes in himself, and he truly believes in himself.
Oh my God.
Blake, in the first 2 minutes of a match, you have to survive the storm against Blake. Because when a match first starts, Blake it's really crazy. But once you settle down, you have some success.
That's it. You gotta kind of let him go. Like, you can't go first on Blake. You gotta draw him out, and that's the thing. You gotta kind of see what he's gonna do, because that's where he becomes predictable, and that's where Caliber just landed right there. But if Blake can kind of catch you at what you're doing, then it becomes a problem, because he'll just go balls to the wall, essentially, Cyrus.
100% correct, bro. 100% correct. Nick Diaz as well is a sensational pick. As I came up against Blackout hours earlier, who showed me just that, phenomenal pressure. He's a real solid pick in this game, and he can make your life misery with that death by 1,000 cuts sort of vibe.
If you put Blake and Ginger in a room together, by the way, you won't know who is who. And if you make the game as well, you won't be able to tell. You won't be able to tell.
They're literally the same person. Blake and Ginger are one person.
They sound the same. Like, if they talk in a party chat, you don't know who's who. Sorry, we get off that. It's so funny though, because they're like brothers and they don't even know each other.
Yeah. It's the same person. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
It's so crazy. Nice work. Oh, good job. Caliber's starting to come on. Welcome to PlayStation, by the way, Caliber. Welcome to PlayStation, Cyrus. No, you were saying it's easy earlier on, off camera. Bit easy. Anyone who wants to invite Cyrus on the PlayStation division, he said it's easier. So go and show that man.
Bro.
What is up?
Yeah,
what is up?
Bro, I told you, OWC is a piece of piss, bro. That's different,
Yeah, it's easy.
It's different in a league fight. And here we go. This is what I was talking about with Blake, though. Caliber, now he's starting to make adjustments. Blake started first 2 minutes of this round. Blake was like the best fighter in the world. Now Caliber has settled down. Now it's up to Blake to do something different, Humble.
Yeah, it is, and Blake's kind of. This is what we expected, right? I know. Well, I expected it. I expected Blake to kind of get out-picked apart, out-dominated, maybe have some success like he did early, but not as much. I just know. He was my teammate for years. I played with him a lot. I just know his sort of attributes, and he's fading away with missing certain shots as well. The stamina's playing effect of what he can and can't throw, Cyrus, which is affecting him mentally and in the game.
Yeah, for sure. But look, every round starts a little different. Starts on the feet. They've got to approach the center and really duke it out to find out who's going to be, to get themselves ahead, I should say. Right now, like with the advantages that Blake had early on, he needs to get back to that, try to land some of those clean combinations again. It's easier said than done though, J-Dime, because you're getting pressed by Caliber, who is truly one of the better players on the Xbox scene. and you know, seems to be adjusting very well here over on the PlayStation early.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Blake. Blake doesn't fight well when you're pressuring him. When his back goes against the fence, he only landed 26 strikes, and I think all of them were in the first 2 minutes. Because once you make the adjustment, Blake doesn't make an adjustment to it. Now he's still going to fight the same way, Humble.
Oh, sometimes it works, though.
Sometimes it works.
He needs to go forward. Like, I know he's scared about the stamina, but he needs to finish this guy early because this guy's picking away at him. No, I love what Caliber's doing right there. Just got Blake to step halfway across the uppercut. Gets caught with an uppercut, and this could be it. Blake drops him.
Is it going to be over? It's Blake's going to welcome Caliber to PlayStation.
Oh, he's one shot away.
Survives.
Oh my God, this could be the biggest backdrop in the century. J-Dan, because he's had him on the brink there, one shot away from finishing him. Blake's getting back up, and he's doing well. The uppercuts landed nearly every time he's through it.
Oh my God!
Oh,
the bag has dropped.
That's dead. That's done. That's done, bro.
Drop the bag.
It's done. It is done. And Caliber, welcome to PlayStation.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
No easy fight for him though. Like that took him right to the wire, right? Jesus.
That was fun. That was a fun fight for Caliber. Exactly why he was a late replacement. Well, shout out to Lucky for doing the wrangling tonight for us.
Yeah.
Shout out to the designer tonight. I don't want to say name shouts, but that's a beautiful design.
To be fair, I don't know if you know their name, but she did a great job. Fair play. Each and every week, our graphic designer, my other half, has been doing these every single time. Knocks it out of the park, and I have to say, I do like this one, bro. I can't remember what you said, like the way you compared it earlier, but it's
like a note, like a coin, like
banknote. Yeah, that was it. Banknote. Yeah, for sure.
Looks
bro.
nice. Looks nice.
That's because all these fights are money, my man. As we move into this main card, the action only continues to heat up. We're going to hit that promo one more time for you. For anybody missing it at the beginning, of course, we have gone from our normal kind of 30 GOAT gang who start us off on these shows up to everybody that's joining us right now. So if you've enjoyed all of the fights so far, strap in for this short promo that we have for you ahead of one of the biggest main cards set to date within this community. Fadinator might be the best player. Nobody's even made him look mortal right now. This guy looks like he is immortal. He looks like he's amongst the gods. Nobody's even hurt him. Nobody's made him like take a step wrong. He's had flawless performances every single time he stepped out there. He's obviously just that guy right now, and continues to do it. A brilliant performance, and still
Fadinator showing why he's a problem.
The pound for pound GOAT right now in FSK Fadinator. Will be interested to see what is around the corner from that man, because obviously, you know, he's going to get to a point within the next like 5 fights where he will be setting a record and cleaning out the division. Like,
it's going to be difficult for any
human being.
I can see Fadinator holding the belt for the entire season.
The undisputed Xbox champion of the world, Fatty the Baddie.
Ken Winter's got a hell of a task in front of him. Fadinator looks unstoppable, but Ken Winter's had some fantastic performances, and if he does it, incredible.
I have to say, KM Winter, credit where credit is due. That man came out and performed here this evening. I look forward to seeing what he can do in the near future now. That's not
Into big wins over Trixie, big wins over Evo. He continues to improve and continues to show why he belongs at the top of the Xbox divisions.
Winter came here today with violence in his heart.
That means we get Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and that is going to be epic. Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and it starts right now! Smudger versus Dave TT. Before we start and tell you how great Smudger is, before we build a similar picture and tell you how dominant he's been in Primetime, before we tell you that he's beat every single person in a rematch that has beat him, before we do any of that, we need to look back at Primetime 97. This was Smudger versus Dave at Primetime 97. The first round started off with MK Dave taking the lead, hitting the body, using his grappling and really making it difficult for Smudger to gain a rhythm in this fight. It was one of the first times that somebody made Smudger look human. This was a shock. This was something we'd not seen before on the commentary team or as the PT audience kind of gasped as MK Dave started to rally in that first round and pick apart Smudger. This is something Smudger does to other people, we thought. But somewhere deep down, we all knew Smudger has the ability to put someone's lights out in one shot. This guy can create magic in the cage. He can pull a rabbit out of a hat, and that's what he did. He created magic once again. And for Dave, it must be frustrating because he did dominate that fight.
For nothing. All of that success in that second round for nothing.
As J Dime says, all that success for nothing. Or was it for nothing? Because Dave has his shot at redemption again tonight. He is able to right the wrongs that he made in that first fight. We don't know either way, but what we do know is we're about to find out.
No matter who I'm in there with, they ain't getting out there alive. They're going out there in some sort of stretcher. We are back at it. Primetime 104. The action continues. Joining me in the commentary booth, of course, J Dime and Mr. Humbledink. Guys, we have had a sensational night of fights already, and it is only beginning to heat up. The main event is around the corner there, J Dime. Smudger, Dave TT, but leading up to that, we have a number of killer fights set to go. We are waiting, just as a heads up, for the Logical and Trixie fight. I believe that Versatile and Kingwix may be off, so looks like we might be going to Frosty and Ali first, but hopefully the rest of those fights come in very, very shortly, and we'll be able to get to see all of these killer fights that we have lined up. Yes, sir. Yes. God damn, sir. So I'm just playing a little bit of catch up. We're going to go to Frosty and Ali, I do believe. Hopefully they are all set to go. I believe they're just getting their link going as we speak right now, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. But I suppose it's a good time for us to have a brief chat about it, J-Dime. Frosty right now, we were talking about prolific fighters. He's a guy that burst onto the scene and did phenomenally well. Like a guy that, wasn't competing in the previous season, but since he's come on, he went on something like I think it's like a 6 or 7 fight win streak. He's currently 10-5 overall, had a couple of setbacks, but now, bouncing back onto it, is trying to get to stabilize the ranking that he holds. Being ranked number 4 is a hard old spot for him to be in. And Ali, of course, guy right now that's really, really trying to rise up those rankings. Ranked number 7, 2-fight win streak, fighting killer after killer, and trying to get into it. No, exactly, bro. Exactly right. I believe that Mr. Humbledink, you are back with us, I do believe. Oh. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When it rains, it pours, brother. When it rains, it pours. But no, these guys, I can see right now, Ali's got his stream up. He is just currently getting lobbied up. We were talking about that fight very, very briefly. Of course, we have to skip ahead a couple. If you weren't able to hear us a little bit earlier, hopefully we will be coming back to Trixie and Logical and the other fights very, very shortly. But for right now, obviously, we are moving up into that card. Frosty MMA up against Ali 10. They will be very, very... closely around the corner. But I want to take a moment, because obviously we have some time here, to actually look forward a couple of fights to Ripe up against Blackout Hours. Now, Ripe MMA, bro, you know as well as I do, this guy is a straight-up killer. He has been at the top of the division right now, hasn't been able to secure that gold right now, but he has all of the hallmarks as a guy that could potentially be a future holder if he continues in the way that he has. Massive advancements in his game, and for my money, is probably the most improved fighter of this season so far. But he is going up against Blackout Hours, who is a true terror in that division. I fought him earlier, Humble, and the B3 style, that pressure. This guy does it better than anybody, bro. Like, he puts it on you from that opening bell, and he doesn't let you breathe. I do have you on mute, and that's... Thank you, brother. My bad. I do apologize, lads. Like I said, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours.
Hard admit, we do apologise, guys. Technical issues, my fault. I had some issues with my mic, and then we've just had some issues. But we're back, and we're just talking about we were talking about Blackout versus Ripe, Cyrus, and how fantastic that was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I tell you what, since I kind of dropped the bag on the microphone bit, these guys are actually ready to go now. So we're actually going to go straight into Ali and Frosty. But that fight probably heard my side of it, at least. It is a sensational one. I can't wait to see it, nevertheless. It's my fight to watch out for here this evening.
They heard you. Oh, they heard you. That's all we needed. They heard you. They heard you. Blackout Hours is a demon, J Time. He has been knocking people out the first round pretty much all of his primetime career, and we're not just talking about this season as well. He did the exact same last season. And what I was saying was, me and Doc had a bit of a debate about who was fighting for a title this week, because we do the matchmaking slightly. I get the overview, and essentially, like, Blackout was up. He's ranked number 12, and he was one of my favourites to be for a title, just because of the way he's won every single fight. His first round is dominant, and what he did last season as well. Both of those things together make him a formidable force. I think he's lost 2 fights in 2 seasons, J-Dan.
You know what? That's crazy that he's done that, because that... This gonna sound crazy, because that just shows how good Fad is, because Fad is the king of that division, with so many killers like Frosty and Ali in that division, Cyrus.
No, exactly right, bro. Like, these guys are at the tippity top. Like, Ali's another guy, funnily enough, that's improved massively. I feel like he just came on leaps and bounds, Humble. The full array of mixed martial arts is now in his game, but this is a true test, because Frosty is like one of the most savvy guys. He's like very slick in that cage.
Yeah, he is. Frosty's one of the guys who are like Winter, Frost. There's a few guys like that who are very, very technically good. They have their own sort of styles and their own sort of ways, and it all kind of works. And Bossman's another guy. But Ali, I've seen competing a lot. Guys who stick around and compete in other leagues as well as ourselves, they support the community. They do a lot for them. They're only going to grow because they're going to be around people who are also trying to grow. They're going to meet new people who are better than them every single day. And that's how you get better, Cyrus. You've got to get better, put people in your life that are going to make you better, and inspire them all the time, and that's how you're going to get good.
Yeah, exactly right, bro. Exactly right. Sorry, I see. I don't know why you talking about Blackout during an Xbox fight, because we were buying time, my man. I don't know if you were paying attention, but we straight into it. Look, Ali and Frosty, on a serious note, like I said, or like we've been saying, are at the upper end of it, and this fight really plays a massive factor of where they find themselves and potential, like you say, title implications in the near future. And we mentioned it earlier as well there, Humble, that Xbox Grand Prix will be around the corner with the end of the season coming up, and if they're not able to secure the belt come by the end of this season, which is only a couple of events away, they at least put themselves in great running to be nicely seeded coming into that Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly. There's like 3 or 4 events. I can't remember what we said, but we'll have to go back. We'll have to check this. But essentially, there's a couple of events left, and these guys have got a position. It's like 3 fights each, right? Yeah. 3 fights can change one fight can change everything, because if you drop this fight, you can potentially drop out the top 16. Then you've got to work your way back into the top 16, and there's nothing worse than going on tilt, Cyrus. So you've got to kind of ride the wave and kind of follow that into the sort of the Grand Prix. You want to be in the best position possible coming the last couple of weeks.
100%, 100%. It matters. We've said this in the past, but for anybody that does know, kind of much like a Premier League, every fight matters because you're keeping yourself, not necessarily from relegation, but keeping yourself in the ability to play in that big tournament come the beginning of the season. These guys understand the opportunity ahead of them. They understand the threat that's standing across from them. I feel like they've been very respectful of each other so far, J-Dime, and this fight's kind of just waiting for one guy to really take the lead, get that big crack, and try to run away with the advantage.
Ooh, axe kick.
That's actually crazy. But I think Kamaru Usman should push him against that cage and use that wrestling. That's what I think should happen. Okay, not now. It's just 1 second. Not now. But
Van Damme, though, hasn't he?
I think that's what he should do. And that round goes to Frosty MMA.
Yeah, it does. And I was going to say, he's been training with Van Damme. Those axe kicks. Like, when? Give me a clip of Usman throwing that axe kick.
You can find it.
Not like that. Not like stupid.
Leg don't go in the air like that?
Yeah, nah, nothing like that, man. That's like pinpoint accuracy. They've got the animation correct, but he's never done that. I'm telling you right now, there's no way. I said that about DC though when he threw that jumping kick and he did it. He did terribly, but yeah, still did it, I guess. Oh, gets a takedown and listen to you, J-Dime.
Coach Dime in the building. I'm telling you, get him on the cage, take him down. That's like common sense right now, Kamaru Usman, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure, man. Utilize those clear advantages that you're going to have. Top control is where he wants to be, but saying it's clear, obviously it's the guy behind the stick. Frosty MMA is, next level, bro. He getting some really nice denials off right now.
I think he's listening to J-Dime, he's following the game plan, he's starting to minute win the clock, kind of burn the clock essentially. He wants to kind of capitalise on the success he's already had. And that's what he's got to do. It's exactly what he's got to do, J-Dime.
Yeah, and like I said, get some damage with this too. Don't strictly lay on him. Build up that damage so when you do get back to the feet, now he's easy pickings, Humble.
Yeah, easy to do. Like, I know guys that used to do that. The game has changed so much over the last 4 years, Cyrus. We're getting UFC 5 soon, which I know everybody in the chat is excited for, and so we will have big things planned for that stuff. So do not worry. But what my point is, essentially, the game's changed a lot over the time. It used to be like grappling to this position, you'd kind of work a lot of damage. You see a lot of top guys do that. It's kind of lost that a bit because it's Striker's world. But this is a great position. So frustrating. If you keep doing this, kind of work at Frosty quite a bit, you might get up and make a mistake, like J-Dime pointed out.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, the game is continuing to evolve even to this day, man. We're coming to the end of the game cycle right now with UFC 5 around the corner, or we hope, of course. But we will. We'll say that the game continues to change even to this time, and there's different styles that are able to be employed. These guys are adept in every single position, which is why Frosty didn't make it easy for Ali, even though he was in top control with Usman. And he's put himself, in this late part of the second round with a slight stamina advantage, slight health advantage, and, in a really, really good driving seat to try and push for the finish in this third round, Jay.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for that breakout moment here. We're in the second round, about to go into third. Waiting for that stun. Waiting for that moment. There
it is.
There it is. We got that change. There we go.
Whispered into the wind and got a return. Cyrus, you kind of manifest those things into existence, and that's exactly what J-Dime just done right there.
Yeah, spoken into existence.
He's picking his shots right now. It is like J-Dime is correct. It's like a stalemate with a few sort of things swinging backwards and forwards. Like, for instance, right now, Ali just landed 3 straights on a row of the head of Frosty, but Frosty got the rock. And who knows how the judges see that round because of the rock. He's given himself a fighting chance, J-Dime, and that's the key.
You're right. That is exactly the key right here. Now, third, something really has to happen because he tried to shoot. Did you see that?
Interesting.
Much like in the first round of their third fight, or second fight, even able to get that takedown in this time. Edwards has been training the grappling as a whole there, J-Dime, and he's looking to capitalize that in this third round. Submission attempt.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his pattern here. Leon Edwards, for a while, has had underrated grappling. His grappling is so much better than when he first started MMA. Who would have ever thought he would be the first guy to take Kamaru Usman down, Humble?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's crazy. He's always had. I mean, wait, I think he's a smart geezer. He loves MMA as well. He's one of those guys. I seen a post about him recently saying that in the back when people are trying to like train and he's got fighting coaching fighters. Essentially, as soon as they start training, the fighters who are fighting, that's when he gets interested. That's when he gets excited. He's very much somebody who looks at other people and makes those adjustments. Similar to the fighter that he's got right now, which is Frosty. He likes to kind of take something from the other guy, but he's got to take it down right there, Cyrus.
Yeah. This is nice positioning for Ali to be in. He only has 3 minutes left to work. Very, very important that he gets active and starts to rain down some ground and pound. I mean, potentially even look for the finish. I don't know which way this one's going.
Oh, this is gonna be a stalemate on this ground right here. But Leon Edwards has to. Oh, he denied the posture up. But Leon Edwards has to find a way to his feet because I don't want this in the judges' hands. With these 2 minutes left, I want to finish because these judges, you can't trust them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right, bro. Exactly right.
If you're speaking from experience there, J-Dime, or, you know.
Maybe.
I thought Reaper won that fight. I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm going to say it out to the chat. Reaper beat J-Dime fair and square. J-Dime's crying about it. That's all we're going to talk about right there, J-Dime. Them shots that you fired earlier on are coming right back at you, brother.
I don't know what you're talking about.
One of us always gets it.
Nice work. Into stack guard as well. This is a dangerous position if you can get a couple going, but nice head movement from Frosty.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
That was lovely, humble.
You only see that like first day of like jiu-jitsu class when someone shows you some jiu-jitsu moves and they're like grab both the legs when they put 2 feet together. No one ever really stands like that, so it's very, very difficult, but beautiful work right there. Use the leg to pull his leg in and then gets him square, gets the nice trip on the ankles. Shout out to Matrix for the big. It always helps us out. Beautiful work for everybody showing the love tonight. So much love for PT at the moment. We love it. We can feel it. Oh, nice head kick.
Who's
gonna win this?
We got 16 seconds left. Are y'all gonna leave it in judges' hands? Are y'all gonna leave it in this cage?
Oh, he got a rock.
He may have took it. Ooh.
Wow.
Who won? I hope these guys do the professional thing and like, you know, as esports players, like just let the replay roll and then let the fight get announced and then maybe look at the stats afterwards if you know you want people to be interested. You know, like normal people would. Cyrus, not to name names. Storm. Still mad with you.
Shit happens, bro. Shit happens. With all the messing around here this evening, that's the least of it. But we were about to see which way it goes. Obviously, a lot of highlights being shown in one way, but 3 rounds.
Who's won this? I don't know.
30-27, 29-28, 30-27. Leon, motherfucking Rocky Edwards, brother.
Frosty! Wow. Good fight. Well, yeah, he got 2 rocks. He landed the more significant strikes. He was 37-20 on 2 scorecards and he was winning on another. So essentially, you know, you can see right there, he did deserve the fight, even though I feel like the other guy, Ali, essentially took him down and did well there. So, J-Dime, he didn't do what you said, posture up and do enough damage, and that was the key. Damage is how you win fights.
Damage. If you grapple, you have to make sure there's damage. If you just lay there and you let your opponent get significant strikes, it cancels out the ground control because you didn't do nothing with it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, looking at this one, we've had obviously a couple of changes here this evening. We are rolling with the punches, as you would hope to expect. We will be moving on to the next one, which was actually set to be one of the first fight. Versus Style is going to be stepping into the cage. Kingwick's unfortunately not here, so it will be actually a former champion stepping into the cage. A man that has not competed too many times this season, but Samurai Robin here to do the job, representing himself in a big way, taking it on short notice. I always like to see it. I like to see these short notice matchups. Him and Versus Style obviously ready and game to put on a showcase here this evening, Humble.
Yeah, great work from the truck right there. Like, you got ranked number 17, ranked number 5 against ranked number 5 right now, J-Dime. Now that sounds like a big gap. It does. It sounds like a big gap.
Are you sure we ready for this?
Versus Style is 8-5, right? 8-5 at number 5, and we've got Samurai Robin, a former guy who's been a champion in other leagues, other massive leagues like the ESFL and other things. So essentially, he's fighting. He's currently 2-0. So Samurai Robin is undefeated at the moment. He's a new guy coming through, and he's got a chance to fight a top-level guy who's been around the block and essentially wants to keep his reign up there, maybe fight for a title before the end of the season, J-Time. Or we see a new guy coming straight through the rankings at 3-0, which will be interesting going forward.
If I'm Samurai Robin, or what I'm a boxer say, Samari, right? This is the way I'm looking at it. I have nothing to lose here because I'm 17. He's ranked 5. If I beat him, I take everything. Yeah. So Versatile's in an interesting position right now, Cyrus.
100%, bro. 100%. Look, there's name value to it, though, right? Samurai Robin, former champion here. He's done a lot of things within, the wider community. So I suppose that although he doesn't, he's risking his rank to have a big feather in his cap to add that name to his resume. We will have to see. Samurai Robin, obviously a dangerous man, and if you've seen this guy fight before, as you can already see here this evening, that leg kick is going to come often and early. He's going to tear you apart. He's got one of the better kicking games out there at the moment, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. He's doing a really good job of attacking the legs. That helps you take away the power. If they've got a bad switch stance as well, another thing you can do is if they've got like an 80 switch stance or something, J-Time, you make them switch stance. That's going to lose even more part of the power. So one, you've damaged the legs, which naturally takes away from the power. 2, you've made them switch stance, which immediately changes us all the shots, all the combinations, and all the defense, and a bit of the power. So it's a very clever tactic.
It is. It's a very good tactic. But both of these fighters switch stances in the high 90s.
Oh, really?
Nice.
I knew Sean O'Malley's was. I didn't know about.
The only reason I know that is because the last time I played UFC, I'm done with that game, right? I used Cody Garbrandt because Blake told me to.
Versatile needs to block goddamn low right now. I don't know if you've seen, he just had like 9 leg kicks land on him from Samurai Robin. The timing is insane. Look, he's just chopping at it, bro. Just chop.
Blocked it.
Leg. He got to counter that. He has to, when he throw the leg kick, he has to throw it straight. He has to throw a shot. Either check or throw a shot when he throws that, Humble.
Do you know what's really good for if someone moves the head a lot? Like, if Versatile is like a natural head mover, maybe Samurai Robin knew this, and he was like, you know what, I'm just going to throw a kick every now and then, because I know you're going to duck your head on the second or first, after the first strike I throw, and that's kind of catching him, and Versatile can't kind of adapt so quickly. But if I'm Versatile right now, you need to get going. You can switch stance and lose a leg. I don't mind losing a leg sometimes. I fight better in the other stance sometimes, Cyrus. It's just, you've got to do some head damage. You've got to kind of make it work, and the damage is going the opposite way in head health.
Yeah, no, exactly. Bro, these leg kicks are something else, bro. Like, I'll go out on a limb and I'll say he's the best leg kicker in the game right now. Samurai Robin is a menace. Versatile having all sorts of problems with it. Block low, bro!
Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna tell you what's brilliant about this. He's not just kicking calf, he's just not high leg kicking. He's mixing in the calf kicks, the low calf kicks, which are hard to check too. So he's just mixing in them leg kicks, and it's messing up Versatile head right now, Humble.
Yeah, 100%, and he's going high-low. The oldest trick in the book, high-low. You get your opponent to think low, and then you go high. Beautiful slip combination. Samurai Robin is impressing the PT world once again. He did it last season in a late run. Looks like he's going to try and do it again this season for the Grand Prix. He's a top guy, Cyrus, and we can see why. Why isn't there being no leg checks? You get 40% extra damage on those leg checks.
Yeah, like Garbrandt was trying to do the Anthony Smith, and he was trying to exchange with combinations, but just the way that Robin is playing it, he's just slightly out of range, doing too much on the damage with the leg kicks. And right now, he has the ability to just exchange with the hands as well, because let's be straight up, O'Malley is a menace.
Oh my gosh. Do you know how he's blocked? This is the way he's defending leg kicks. He's defending leg kicks like Khabib, just try to tough it out. Like, that's... You have to check your legs. Sometimes you can't tough it out, but he's landing. Now he's going for broke, though, Humble.
Yeah, you've got to like punish him for the kicks. Yeah. Like if someone's throwing a kick while you're in the face of his, like Cyrus said though, he's throwing calf kicks. But calf kick not only is it harder to check, if you land it, it knocks you off balance. So if you are just sacrificing a leg, it knocks you off balance, so you can't throw back. So that's the key.
That's the key.
Oh my! He's he's good at. I'm gonna tell. He's good at throwing them shots from them angles. He's drifting, leaning back while he's throwing. He's never in range. Too humble.
I'm entering the gas tank if I'm Versatile, because the gas tank is full. Just enter the gas.
You're not enough output here.
You've got nothing left.
Stamina right now.
Nothing left. Jelly legs, like just go for it. Like end of the day. But, like he has got Samurai Robin's head health quite low, so like a big combination. It's over. Nope. He's moving his head. Moving his head. and then he gets leg kicked.
Now his
There he
head is
goes.
toast because he's going to be so weird if his legs. Oh my gosh.
It's over.
It's over, guys. Oh, he
For
got
you, not for me.
something home.
He's come for the rear naked. He's like, fuck this. But where's the style?
Oh my goodness.
He can't even go for that, which is crazy. Like, he's gonna go for the posture. Doesn't quite get it. That would have been interesting if he could like do. Samurai's really good everywhere. This guy, I've known this guy for years, like at least 2 or 3 years, competing in all the big leagues, and essentially he's always been at the top of every division that he's competed in. Cyrus, he's one of those guys that's just naturally brilliant, and if you spar him as well, you kind of realise pretty quickly he's got a lot of different tools, a lot of this arsenal. Very good.
Yeah, he's very, very good compared to quite clearly. His performances speak for themselves. He's secured a belt here under Primetime MMA. I know his accolades, stretch further than that as well. He has won a number of top-level performances in a number of promotions around. But obviously, he's going to look to just not fumble it here this evening because he has been very, very much ahead. And Versatile is a dangerous man. He's had all sorts of problems with the leg kicks, but as you rightly pointed out, he has more than enough stamina to really push the action. And if he can get a good flurry together, he does have the gas tank to finish that fight.
There's a problem, though. My bad, Humble, but I wanted to say this real quick. He has to use that gas tank. There's no point in having it. You're not going to use it, Humble.
Yeah, you're right, and he's got to kind of stop the damage. Well, he's not finished if he keeps getting damaged. There you go. Those slip shots because he can catch Samurai Robin trying to counter him, or to catch him when he's kicking. But this is it. He's at the bucket. It's over. Oh no! It's next round.
Next round,
We're
bro.
not finished. He got me. That's crazy. That's crazy. I thought it was done. I was like, referees jumped in.
Well. They touch the gloves up for the third round and instantly back to chopping at the base. Versus style.
This has been a beatdown since this started. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Samurai.
His survival. Oh
man,
my.
he's like a man possessed here, Jay. Like he's coming out here. I mean, he went, I'm gonna attack that leg and I'm gonna do it every second I can. And brother, did he deliver? Jesus.
What does he do from here? What does he, Humble? You're gonna play coach for Cody right now. What does he do?
He just tries to catch a slip counter. That's literally it.
Oh my
God.
You're getting kicked though. The leg kicks are the reason you can't slip. So essentially, nice.
There's something.
Doesn't really matter though. Doesn't matter. You can keep going back and sacrifice it.
Oh my God.
Just opens up so much for Samurai Robin, and that's it. Murder, she wrote, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Beautiful work. Can we get a round of applause? W's in the chat for Samurai Robin. That is performance of the night right there. A fight that was worth waiting for. He turned up and turned the hell out. Beautiful work from that man. I expect to see him in the future. Because, yeah, Jesus, I hope to see him in the future because what a performance he just put on. And I want to say, like, Versatile, that was a tough match, but, like, I feel like his leg was gone so early, he just kind of got left, like, a little bit wondering on what to do, right? He tried to exchange, and it just didn't kind of go his way. We know he's better than that. We'll see him come back, but I think it just proves how good Samurai Robin actually is, J-Dime, the way that he came in and just dominated that space here this evening.
Yeah, that was beautiful. He chopped his leg down. He switched stances. He chopped his other leg down. He beat him up, his head health. The only thing he didn't do is get his body health low. Besides that, he picked him apart, Humble.
Yeah, and he's gone 3-0, and then we talked about why he deserved that title, that number 5 ranked guy. Someone said he deserves a top guy. He just got gifted a top 5 guy and did that with him, so, he's going to get a big fight next. It's going to be a huge one because there's not many people undefeated still in that division, but it does all depend on your ranking. This was a one-off. It was essentially he got in there, but I'm sure he's going to go into the top 10 now with a win like that, Cyrus.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, brother. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a massive win for him, really is. And like I said, he has a name value in the promotion. He has already set some, kind of major things that many people have not been able to. He is a former champion. I know that he'd like to get that back. Obviously, it's one thing to touch that gold. It's another thing to hold it, right? And you're only as good as your last fight. His last fight was goddamn good, so we will see where he goes from there, but we will move on to the next one now. Obviously, due to some of the madness that's gone here this evening, we still don't have Trixie and Logical. We're trying to sort a replacement for that right now. The guys in the back are believe that they have somebody set up for it. So we are mixing and matching these fights. It's not quite in the order you see ahead of you. Instead of it being right v B3 Blackout, that's going to be pushing forward to the fights just before the co-main and the main event. CV and Goat are actually going to be up next. We're going to go to them right now.
Not ready for that yet, Cyrus, but okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't really built up to it, right? But that's because obviously this main card's had some...
We're ready for war. We are ready.
What's happened to Volk and Tech? Are they gone? Is that done?
The Vuck and Tech fight. So right now, where things lie, full transparency to you guys in the booth and everybody at home. So we had Versatile obviously against Robin. That was a short notice replacement. Unfortunately, Logical, let's say, got stuck up that tree, right? That tree, bro. Yeah, honestly. But whatever happened, we'll see what happens there. We're trying to get a replacement for Trixie right now. Have some things in the pipeline. We'll hear about them very, very shortly. But other than that, it does appear that Titch is not responding either at the moment, and as a result... Vuck is currently left out without an opponent as well, but we will hopefully bring those two guys back. You know that if you've been following the journey from IFL up to Primetime MMA and where we are right now, we've been running this thing for about 6.5 years. This is probably the most kind of like little pullouts we've had on the main card, so understand this is not usual, and we will see what is, the way it's all going to play out. But we appreciate the guys in the truck, in particular. Obviously, Lucky's the one-man band out the back at the moment, been doing an excellent job all evening, keeping this entire event running as smoothly as it can there, Humble. And with that all being said, brother, we are, like I said, getting into one of the top-end fights here this evening. It will be GOAT of MMA, a former champion, up against another former champion in CV. These guys are sensational competitors, completely different polarizing styles out here as well, J-Dime, but truly they are some of the best in the business, and they have proved it time after time.
This fight is interesting to me because it depends which version of GOAT of MMA do you get, because when he started falling in love with his hands, he started losing a lot. But I would say I'm not looking for him to wrestle with Sean, but we played a best of 3 and he was trying to panic wrestle with Sean, so I don't know.
That's what he does. That's natural. We talked about Dino earlier on. Like, Dino and Goat remind me of each other. Like, it's kind of weird. Goat and Dino are similar sort of players. So they always kind of revert back to the wrestling. The crazy thing about this is it's essentially CV in a 3-round fight starts a bit slow sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see if essentially CV kind of ups his... He did it a few times, hasn't he, J-Time, where he's come out quicker than usual. But on this one, we'll see, because Goat, if you make a mistake, he'll control you for a long period of time, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I don't like this matchup. I don't like Sean versus TJ. In general, I don't like that, because here's the thing. When it comes to TJ, his advantage is his footwork. Ooh. Sean fights very well from the outside. He has very high footwork. Sean has the power. But it's not the best matchup. TJ has an 89 block, Humble. Like, it's not the best matchup for TJ Dillashaw to go against Sean O'Malley.
It is, but it's the movement, I think, that is essentially CV's relied on, and he's going to try and rely on. But we're starting to see the grappling come out from GOAT of MMA. We've got to remember, Cyrus, in our heads, in our small little brains, there's capacity in here. Sean O'Malley, even though he's a striker, GOAT of MMA is essentially a grappler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look, Sean Corkery, another B3 faithful, just did a little resub out there. We appreciate you, my man. And this little message, it's a suitable reading. B3 on top for real is what he said. And look, B3 GOAT is going to come out here, and he's going to try and prove him and the rest of his team right. He is one of the only grapplers from that camp. He trains with non-stop strikers, so he's going to be what he feels prepared for some of the trickery that CV may be trying to employ. But you know as well as I do, J-Dime, that he needs to get him in these positions and keep him here as long as he can to get this W. He doesn't want to be on the feet with somebody like CV.
I'm happy. I'm really happy GOAT of MMA is fighting like this. You know why? Because all the matches he lost is because he thought he was only a striker. And no disrespect to him, his hands are not that good. But when he mixes it up, when it's a full MMA match, that's where he succeeds, because grappling is his strong suit, no matter who he get. And you should never change who you are. You should always fight to your strengths, Humble.
Yeah, we always have like 98% of knockouts on PT, 1% Dino, 1% GOAT, essentially, Cyrus. So these two kind of guys, when they fight to their full potential, as J-Dime said, they essentially win the fight. It's a long old fight, but this one's only 3 rounds, so essentially he can minute win, as J-Dime likes to say, and essentially and kind of take away some of the make CV desperate, essentially, make him fight out of character.
Yeah, for sure, right? And that's tough to do because he is one of the most cerebral fighters that you will ever see step inside this cage. And if you guys have been paying attention to the wider community, the guys that raided us at the beginning, once again, shout out to the UFE. These guys were fighting, or CV was fighting on that card. Beat Suave Jamie, beat Blake Tyler. Guy's an absolute savage. And Goat saw this, I'm sure, right? I'm pretty sure I saw him in that chat, so he knows that this guy's coming warmed up, and he knows the danger of the truth from Team Truth in CV. This man is a problem, bro.
This man is the truth. As you say, Cyrus, this man is CV. And he's just changed the fight in 2 shots. 2 shots, he changes the fight right there. And he gets the takedown, J-Dime. That is one way to take the momentum. Like I always say, he just sucked the air out of MMA's room right there.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. That's nice. And if I'm GOAT of MMA, this sucks for me because I used all that grappling. I used up all that stamina in the first round. I built up this lead to get it all taken away, Humble.
Yeah, there's a part of this game that no one really talks about, and it is essentially the breaks, the clinches, the sort of areas where we don't really notice where the damage lies. Getting up off the ground is one of them. When you get up off the ground, kind of being defensively minded, kind of making sure that you're out of range. A lot of these guys try to do a lot of damage just after getting up when they've been in an offensive position, and sometimes they're put in a really bad position, like he was right there against CV, and he gave up so much. He was winning the fight comfortably.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Thankfully, the stream just came back. I was worried he was about to drop out, but they're back, and they're still throwing bombs. GOAT of MMA, has definitely made improvements in his striking. I feel like he's still a little raw, though, J-Dime. He does things like throw naked head kicks and whatever else, and if he does too many against CV, that guy's going to duck him and send him to hell, basically. That, like, you can't be too... can't throw like too many naked shots against a man like CV.
Oof. Another leg kick, reminiscent of Samurai Robin. And like I said, we'll go to MMA. That's why, even though Sean's a great pick, I think he should have picked something else where he can utilize his full MMA range instead of wrestling with Sean O'Malley, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I'm surprised he didn't go Aljo, to be honest with you. Like, I am surprised he didn't go Aljo.
Or Marab.
Yeah, or Marab, yeah. But I feel like Aljo kind of suits him a little bit more because it's got like the wildness in it, right? Like Aljo does all that crazy kind of like funky shit with the kicks and everything. But I don't know, maybe he's just feeling Sean recently, and he knows that, especially in the grappling domain, it's really not the fighter that you pick, it's the guy behind the sticks, and GOAT is a guy that knows the ground game very intricately. So, I suppose the only thing it does play a factor on Humble is the stamina and how much that costs to do the grappling that he needs to.
Yeah, as you can see, like when he got back to his feet, there was a major gap. And I think it's just the costs Sean O'Malley more to do the things that he wants him to do that does Dillashaw. Sean O'Malley's spending less stamina when he's on the feet. And I have to commend GOAT of MMA of doing damage to the body, and he looks like he's done quite a bit. If you look at damage right now, GOAT of MMA is up. He's done more damage so far in this fight, even though he's been rocked and dropped in that first round. And the second round's been very even. He has done more damage on the bars. You can tell by looking at them.
Exactly, but his leg, he hasn't checked the leg kick is the thing.
Leg kick checking seems to be an area that people need to be working on at the moment. A lot of leg kicks being landed over the last couple of fights. Beautiful flying knee from GOAT of MMA. The unorthodox madman coming out here trying to get that finish, Humble. But CV able to eat that one.
Yeah, he was. And now we're starting to see the stamina. It's going to start coming into play right now, because if CV starts mixing it in the body and punishing GOAT when he misses, that's where the problems are going to lie. Things like that. The nice sidestep elbow gets him really well. Here we go. The cheese comes out with the spinning elbow. J-Dime, you do anything to win right now.
If you ever noticed, though, I've always noticed this about GOAT. When he throws them slip hooks, he's always out of range. Like, he don't got the range.
Every time, bro. He's just thrown like 6 body hooks, and they've all missed at like range from it. I don't like the slip-off ones.
Silly mistake. Do you
feel like he's getting frustrated right now? Like, I feel like GOAT's...
It's like a habit he has. Like, he's always throws that out of... I've always noticed that. When he throws his body, he's always out of range.
Just like needs to work on you.
Yeah, those B3 boys need to bully the shit out of him until he drops that, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? The B3 bullies, they can't... They
probably
can't,
being the guy, though. Like, if you're the grappler, you're going to be grappling, right? Because that's how everyone...
Yeah, not true, but I mean, like, that's an area, like, there's quite clearly a hole, because he's doing okay in terms of the striking outside of that, but it is the slip-off body hooks. It's going to get him caught, man. It's going to get him caught.
He still could be in the driver's seat for this fight. The stamina's not great. the head health starting to swing in CV's way, but he's still got a good opportunity to try and hurt him, make it questionable. I do feel like he's losing this fight, but I don't know because we're watching.
Lovely, beautiful.
Here we go. Go MMA. Misses the 2 shots. CV survives. Needs to not be over. Still landing shots. Beautiful work. What a shot that was, J-Dime. Came out of nowhere.
It was unexpected. It's the stuff you don't see coming. What hits you? That's not in the game plan. That's not in when you study him. That's not there.
100%,
That was
man.
a tactical thing right there. Did you see that, Cyrus? Puts his hand out like he did earlier, like a tiny, like almost like a feint, because he knew last time CV shot as soon as he put his hand out because his stamina drained slightly, so he was ready for it this time. Switch the position. Beautiful work. CV's on him.
Yeah, trying to turn it up right now, but got to be careful. Oh my goodness, this might be it right here. He's got that killer instinct. Throwing kicks on the inside, trying to attack that body, almost gets him caught and allows GOAT of MMA to press against the cage, but no takedown on those cards there. Humbledink reverse his position and CV back in the driving seat.
Yeah, he is, and he needs to kind of
And
equalising the stamina advantage. Literally gets the
everything
That's it.
changes.
That's it. No, it's not. Lot of MMA getting back to his feet. It's going to be dire for him to try and get back into this, but he's going to have to rely on trying to win the fight in the last 2, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. GOAT's got that dog. It's a 3-round fight, right? So GOAT's got that dog in him, bro. He ain't going out without a fight.
Head movement. Head movement.
He can go another knee. It's the shot you don't expect that's landing for GOAT. When you throw a random flying knee.
I'm surprised Swaggy's not in the chat right now asking for a spinning elbow or 10. So, you know, he's asking for the big one. CV's got him. This could be it. Gets him into top mount. Rains down the ground. And it's all. Well played, CV.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that was a tough old fight. CV took him into some deep waters right there with some good grappling, some beautiful little unorthodox spinning shit. Came out there. GOAT of MMA has that dog in him, man. He takes every single fight seriously. He wants to take people into the deep waters. I feel like he had a great little standout performance for a moment here, but CV, once again, the truth from Team Truth, is the king of adjustments, able to turn it around in a very, very tough fight and find that finish. Woo! God, I love to see that guy fight out here. It's always beautiful work.
How old is he, J-Dime? He's like a young kid, and he's like 16, 17 year old.
Yeah.
Like young lad. Obviously, that's when you gain.
I think the young kids take over in UFC because they still young and their reaction time. It's always like you gotta think about a lot of the great fights. Like Fadinator's young. Like all of them
16,
are young.
He was 16 when he started winning all the belts, and then there's loads of them that are all like 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're all 16. It's weird. It's the best time to get your reaction time. I think it's when I'm double that, Cyrus. So essentially, I'm gone. My reaction time is twice as bad. So when these guys beat me, I don't feel too bad because they've got the sort of reaction time in CV does. He had to. Can we speak about his game plan right there? He had to come out of his game plan a bit. He had to kind of adjust. He had to switch it up. He wasn't the CV of old. He had to get in there and get his hands dirty, Cyrus. He couldn't just pick his opponent apart. He wasn't a sniper, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and look, honestly, that is just more credit to what GOAT was doing. I feel like GOAT came in with the right game plan. I don't feel like he came in with the right fight to pick, but look, I ain't want to say that. I've never been Primetime champion. I'll tell you right that, humble. So, like, ultimately, GOAT knows what he's doing. He went that pick. Didn't go his way here this evening, although he did have a lot of moments of success and, put CV through some tough tests, and CV was able to answer those tests here this evening. He passed with flying goddamn colors, and he moves up those rankings very, very nicely. Obviously this man's always in or amongst those top rankings since he's joined the promotion. You guys told me, everybody told me that this guy was going to be a problem, and he's proven to be just that and some. So bigger and better things, I am sure. Now, I don't know why I'm clipping to this card because it's not technically what's on your card in front of you, but Volk fight is up next, and it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise because we're going to see him up against one of the true OGs of the community, Matrix Reborn.
Okay,
yes,
let's
sir.
go. All right.
I like that.
There's some good fill-ins tonight. We got Caliber fill-in earlier on, and now we've got Matrix fill. Like you're filling in guys with great guys. It's just, I love PT. PT's got some fantastic competitors. Now we're about to see a matchup that was unexpected. Great matchup though, on paper.
Yes, sir. But roll with them punches, brother. We do it, they do it, and it leads to one hell of an event each and every week. hell of a fight every single week. And look, I love to see Volk Gaming fight a guy that was once kind of public enemy #1 within the community. People were hating on him and what he brought to the table, but a lot of people have been won round over the times he's put in performances here. You know, he's a polarizing figure, and he's going up against one of the nicest guys out there, Matrix Reborn. Nice outside the cage, but a menace inside of it there, Humble. These guys neck and neck going into this one with a lot on the line, considering it's a short notice replacement, right? There's implications ahead for these guys.
Yeah, there is. There's big implications. And let's talk first. I'll go about Matrix first of all, Jedi. Matrix, one of the guys, I've said this so many times about him. He's beat some of the best guys in the world in, like, when they're unstoppable, essentially. When they're the Fadinators, when they're sort of the Smudgers of the world. He's gone in there and done that. Hasn't done it in PT yet, and I know he wants his big moments, but he's done it in other leagues, and I've seen him beat some top tier guys. This is his chance right now. Beats Volk, gets himself right up there, maybe for a Grand Prix, you know, maybe a late run, and essentially puts himself in that position.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Fast.
Oh my good. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, switch!
Oh, this is bad.
That could have been quick. That could have been one and done right there. And this is where he's not great. He gets reversed. His position.
This is where Volk wants to be. This is.
Oh.
It's Volk's world, bro.
Yeah, he did it.
Nice.
You know what I think? Maybe if they can hear me from timeout, I think he should do 2 undeniables and then go. Do 2, because that's the only fake you can do from bottom out. That's the only fake. I think he should mix 2 in. If he loses this, we start off so great. If he loses this,
oh man, this is close. This is super close. Pay attention to the end of this. He needs to just go on one side. He's going left and right, which is where he's getting caught in the middle. He needs to go on one side and kind of stay to that course. He's got it. Oh my god, Volk Gaming does it again. Submission to the air potential, Cyrus.
Oh, he started. Oh my god.
Volk, bro, he's a problem.
Wow.
He's a goddamn problem, I'm telling you.
He's getting punched in the face and then.
Absolute menace, bro. Black belt jiu-jitsu on display. This man just earned his black belt in the cage. Right there, here under Primetime's bright lights. Doesn't get any better. I think you said it right, bro. This might be submission of the year right now. I mean,
he had half his stamina. He just got knocked down, and he finished. Like, I don't know. It was a good submission from Volk. It's just the fact that he keeps doing it.
Once it flipped over up, it's bad.
Max Holloway as well. It's not like got a great submission stat, so
yeah.
The tracking was fantastic.
And Volk does have good defense, you know, like so. Yeah, all the intangibles of this one leads to a massive submission for Volk Gaming. Once again, appreciate these guys taking that fight on short notice, trying to bring this event to full fruition, and they lived up to it for as long as it lasted. Another fun one in the history books here this evening. Now, of course, because like I said, there's been a bit of madness here this evening. We've had to roll with the punches. We've had to change some fights around, and we're getting on to this next one now. So we have one more fight before we reach the co-main and main event here this evening. Your 2 title fights are just around the corner, but until we get that, we're going to go to one last fight. A former champion stepping into it. What would be heralded as the pound-for-pound GOAT historically within Primetime MMA, a guy that's had a bit of a rough run, but has bounced back recently and trying to mount his rise back towards that belt. It is BFAP Trixie taking on KM's very own, the uniquest of strikers. I don't know if that's a word, but he is the most unique of strikers introspectively.
Uniquest of strike.
Uniquest of strikers is now a word. Now we've made it a word. It's a PT word, Cyrus. I mean, introspectively, you know, like with these words, you know, we kind of have these things. And look at this record. This is going to be a competitive fight. Nice to see you, damn. I love it when we get right up towards the latter of the card and you see like a good, solid record between both guys. You know, it can go either way. That could have been just 1 week, extra 3 wins. You know, 1 week he went bad, felt ill, didn't get it, and it's going to be Dustin versus McGregor. I don't think we've seen that tonight, maybe. No. We used to see it 5-6 times a card. Now we see it once or twice.
I think it speaks volumes to what we're trying to do behind the scene matchmaking and everything else, right? With the 4-star picks, the mix up of weight classes. We've seen a lot more of a variance now, I suppose, in the picks. People are getting more comfortable, I feel like, with those 4-star picks as well, and starting to find some unique fighters to try and bring something different to that cage, because you don't want to see the same shit every single time. And
no,
you know,
used to.
Yeah, exactly. And people can prepare for it as well, right? Because there's only so many ways you can fight with Dustin, or there's only so many ways you can fight with Connor, right?
Yeah, it's like people like I hate mirrors. I don't think it's. We're playing UFC. You know, we've got to try and make it as sort of competitive and as it is in the game, essentially. So you know, you don't see main event fighters in every single prelim fight, and you don't see them picking the same guys. You know, you can't see that in real life. So I like this. And the ban as well. You get a ban which is so brilliant for primetime because it just makes us kind of unique to other leagues. Every other league is not the same as ours, and you get a chance to stop somebody else from using their main character, make them play versatile.
Exactly right.
Ooh.
Nice work. Like, Intro does his best work when he's on the front foot, and Trixie knows this. He's not going to allow him an opportunity to take that center of the cage. He will continue to try and turn it, press him behind those black lines, make the cage feel very, very small. He is a master of making reads, but so is Intro. It's what makes them so dangerous, the diverse skill set they have, their ability to see that finishing blow. Look at the damage. They are willing to engage at this point. They're willing to risk it all, Humble, trying to get themselves ahead early in this fight.
Yeah, exactly. These two guys are putting it on. You know, they're technically like the fight before the co-main and the main before the title fight. So these guys have got a lot to live up for. Trixie hasn't had the best of seasons, J-Dime. He's the guy who's been dominating for 3 or 4 seasons. Oh my God, let's forget about what I just said.
Yeah. Listen to me. I have to give Intro credit. I always give him this credit. He has some of the most beautiful striking I've ever seen. He may not win a lot of times, but it looks good, Cyrus.
Yes, honestly, like he kind of, oh my God, bro. It's hard to talk about how beautiful his striking is when he's getting clipped, but that's part of the problem, is that he is beautiful in the way that he fights. He really likes to have a unique style, kind of almost simulated in certain aspects. But then Trixie also has not only a very, very effective, but a beautiful style in just that, the fundamentally sound nature of Trixie, his ability to do it absolutely everywhere. And more than most, he has like that killer instinct. You know, he smells blood in the air. He knows when he's got you hurt, even when you're not rocked, Humble, and seems to find a way of calculating his approach slowly and surely towards that finish, normally by the second round.
I see he gets better usually in the second round, but he gets caught a few times right there. I feel like he started strong. He did this against Fadinator as well, though, and then dropped the ball in the second. So he needs to. That's usually the opposite for him. That's what he kind of capitalizes on. So I like that the fact he's going to the leg kicks, J-Dime. He's constantly attacking that lead leg of Poirier. That's going to help him kind of navigate the jab, navigate the head movement, and also he needs to get off the fence.
Ooh.
Slight correction, I missed out one fight with all of the madness. We are still going to be having B3 Blackout up against Ripe MMA. We said that we were going to save them for the fight before the co-main and main, so they fell out my memory with all of the madness and the changing around. But we continue. An interesting first round, 2 stuns for Swift Trixie. A very good first round for him, which is traditionally his worst round, but his second round is always his best. He seems to be able to turn it up. He can't let it, you just can't drop the bag. This is his best round, and Intro's going to have to try and take that away from him because he's aware of that. He knows that Trixie's going to try and turn it up here, Jay.
Yeah, and when I said Intro, I love watching him fight. It looks good. Even when he's losing, he gets whooped beautifully. You get me? Like everything he do, it looks good. But with that being said, he can't let Trixie take over this round. This has to be his round because if you take Trixie's second round away from him, it makes it interesting because this is only 3-round fight, Humble.
Yeah, if you can win one back, he's got to check the leg kicks. He's got to do something to capitalise and punish your opponent for them. If you check that, you can throw a hook or a straight after that shot. So you get caught with an uppercut, though, in boxing range against Trixie. It could be over. Intro blocks it. He's going to try and go for his own get-up, and he gets past it to Sagatron. Beautiful work from McGregor right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, coming from the BFAP camp, built for ankle picking. Didn't need the ankle pick right there, but you know that he is incredibly sound on the mat. He has the ability to find finishes no matter where he is, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is, even though it was a short sample size, it looks like Connor's recovery has been working. His jiu-jitsu looks a lot better. His strength on the ground looks better. I'm not going to say he's juicing, but it looks good, Humble.
He's juicing. He's 100%. Why isn't he got to the Risada pool, crazy man? Like, he looks the size of Paulo Costa, and he's walking around with his shirt off. That's absolutely like jacked up. He said he'd fight middleweight and stuff. He's crazy. Clearly jacked up.
Man, that's all natural. What are you talking about?
All natural. After his leg break, he got some steroids and then just was like, woo.
He paid Costa for that secret juice, and it is paying off.
No, Paulo
Trixie with the
Costa
secret
paid him.
juice right now. Yeah. Beautiful, Trixie.
Lovely
Yes,
work.
It's over.
Yes, sir. Well played. Fair play once again, taking a fight on short notice, stepping into this one introspectively, took a risk, and it did not go his way here this evening, but Swift Trixie, the title holder for most consecutive wins on the Xbox division across the last couple of seasons. This man is a problem. He may have fallen on tough times. People may have made adjustments and reads to his game, but he continues to evolve, Humble, and does so once again, able to get another finish here this evening. Great win for this man.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic win. He puts himself back up there. He probably wants to try and make one last run at Fadinator. Like, we've got to talk about that before we finish this as well. You know, Trixie was dominant. He has more wins over Fadinator than Fadinator has over him. He controlled essentially 3 seasons against Fadinator, was dominant. Fadinator couldn't beat him at all, and then Fadinator eventually managed to beat him in the Grand Prix, I believe it was last season, and then since then beat him a few times, but has been undefeated against him in this season. This is Fadinator's most dominant season, as we've already talked about, and we'll see later on. But Trixie will want to right that wrong. Trixie will be one of the guy, you know, Fadinator's about to become the first guy that could potentially end PT in a full season undefeated. Trixie will be one of that last guy who fights him who wants to do. That's what Trixie will be thinking. Is that if Trixie does that as well, you know, it redeems all the wrongs, doesn't it? Everything that's gone wrong this season, that doesn't matter if you manage to stop Fadinator from ending, you know, undefeated.
Yeah, like ultimately, right, you're only as good as your last fight, and if his last fight this season is dethroning the guy that's been the most dominant champion currently maybe in any previous season, because like Trixie, you know, has that record, but Fadinator's knocking at the door, bro. Like, he is knocking at the door, and he doesn't seem like he's stopping anytime soon. Of course, we have him up against KM Winter in the next fight after this one. We've got B3 Blackout Bullies up against Ripe MMA. This fight obviously was due to be scheduled a little bit earlier on, but with a couple of mix-ups, it got pushed back and is now our featured fight here this evening. We appreciate the patience of these guys, and they're ready and raring to go. Rank number 2, Ripe MMA, you know, he has had that opportunity to kind of challenge for that belt once or twice. I feel like he has improved massively every time he steps in that cage out here, J-Dime, and he continues to get better and better. And I, for one, I don't know how this one will match up, because like I said to you off stream before we went live, Blackout Bullies, he just has a different thing about him, man. Like, that pressure is something else. I've never experienced the sort of calculated chaos that he brings to the octagon.
Man, he almost suffocates you with the pressure, and you kind of have to be mentally built for it to beat him, because if you just let him push you back and you just kind of stand there and just let him punch you, it's kind of over, Humble.
This is going to be a good fight, I can already tell. Ripe MMA might be the most improved fighter this year for me, outside of Driz. Like, Driz as well, fantastic. A few others like Fonty. But Ripe MMA beats Blackout right now. He's picked Izzy, you know, like movement specialist. Let's see if he stays in the pocket with him, because we'll find out in the first 2 minutes, Cyrus, whether or not, essentially, Blackout's going to have his way with Ripe MMA.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, he's a guy that, you know, has more first-round finishes than I think anybody else in the promotion. I mean, I sparred him a few times here this evening. I can tell you it took me about 7 fights to get out of the first round with this man. He's crazy, bro. He's crazy.
You were traumatized when you said he made an impact.
Yeah, man.
On your face.
He made an impact.
Bro, I'll be carrying war wounds for a long time after that. The CTE is absolutely real. You know these new like PlayStation controllers? They have that haptic feedback. It's giving me some brain damage. But he gets clipped. Ripe MMA coming game here this evening.
Nice work. He's trying to take with the lead hand here.
He's not losing his composure. Oh.
I can't believe he's playing like this with Izzy. This is crazy. He's like stood in the pocket with a Diaz.
Yeah, he should use the teep, back him up, push him back, and he's fighting Nick Diaz fight, even though he's having some success. He's fighting the wrong fight right now, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. And if you don't know Blackout Bully, he's essentially B3. These guys are the Diaz bros. They go forward, they put the pressure on, and they try and knock you out. That's what they do. They're the Conor McGregor Diaz bros type. And I feel like Ripe MMA is channeled. He's in a B3, Cyrus, because he's taking Bully right now.
Do you know what he's doing? He's standing his ground, man. He's truly standing his ground against him. A lot of people get intimidated by that forward pressure. He cracked him. He's trying to turn the tides on it. Blackout isn't out of this right now, but this is a game fight. And these guys are very closely matched. edgiest sort of action. This almost deserved to be the featured fight before we went to the two title fights, to be honest with you, Humble. It was like it was almost written in the stars that they were fighting in this position.
Oh, he drops him. Finally, he's broke through. And this is what he'll do. Pretty much similar to the grappling guys who constantly go at it. They don't give up. This is what the B3 guys do, Cyrus. They just go at you. They don't stop. You might hurt them a few times. You might knock them down. They're zombies. Chris Lieben style.
Yes, sir. Yes, the crippler.
Oh my!
Death kick.
Yeah, well.
Death kick been landing today more than usual.
Man, crazy that you can't dodge that or like spin round it or shove it out the way, whatever.
Well, Ripe MMA once again trying to fight a little bit off the back foot, choosing his times to plant and fight. This one doesn't go with him though. Lovely put down.
It's like 3. Knee to the body. It's over. This is close though. Look at the head health from both guys. Like. You can see
this isn't getting out that second round. Maybe I'm gonna jinx him, but I don't think it is.
Nah, I think you're clean on that. I think that's a good sort of. Okay. If we're putting lines out there tonight. Oh my god, he done well. Look at the defense. Ducks it. He knew he fucked up.
It's crazy.
Oh my god. It ain't getting out of the first round, bro. It ain't getting out of the first round, bro.
An axe kick? An axe kick?
Oh, he channeled his inner Kamaru Usman right there and threw the axe kick. Cyrus.
Axe kick.
Let's give him the credit he deserves. Blackout Bullies gets the job done in the first round. That's 5 first round finishes, Cyrus. And he had, I believe he had 4 or 5 last season as well in a row.
Yeah, man, this guy's a fucking menace. He's a machine. He is a killer. He is the Grim Reaper himself. This guy does not come here to just take names, not just here to take W's. He's here to take souls, and that's what he did once again here this evening. Israel Adesanya was out on that canvas. Ripe MMA had great moments in this fight, stood his ground, put on an excellent account for himself as the ranked number 2 seed within the PlayStation rankings. But once again, Blackout Bully gets the job done. I know this guy said very recently that he is motivated to get that gold, and he is on an absolute killing track right now, trying to work his way to that title. But what a feather in his cap. What a way to do it, and to end out these main card fights as we move across into the co-main and the main event here this evening. We'll skip across that right now, in fact, as we look at the card, as the card is now correct once again. FSK Fadinator up against KM Winter right now, bro. That is, I mean, I'm almost speechless. It's a great fight. I highly respect what Winter brings to the, the table. He has all of his work cut out for him here this evening, with Fadinator being such a dominant, menacing threat in that division, ruling over it, with impunity so far. Humble, he's been untouchable, but Winter is the man that believes in himself. He believes in his abilities. He has a great resume of his own, and this is his true opportunity to capture the world by storm and get a W over the best that there is right now.
Exactly that. He's not expected to essentially win this fight, mainly because of the trajectory of Fadinator, the dominance of Fadinator so far. No disrespect to his skills whatsoever. Does he have the skills to do it? Potentially, but I've never seen a player like Fadinator, what the type of role he's on right now. 11-0 against some of the best guys in the world is crazy. On Xbox, it is a minefield out there, Joe Diamond. He's managed to dodge every mine in that field so far.
Listen to me. He looks like a man possessed. He looks like the closest thing I've ever seen to The Undertaker at WrestleMania right now.
Well, without further ado, my guys, we are going to get into one last little hit of the promo for this fight, and then we will roar ahead with all of the action that these guys have promised. Stay tuned. It is right around the corner. Fadinator might be the best player. Nobody's even made him look mortal right now. This guy looks like he is immortal. He looks like he's amongst the gods. Nobody's even hurt him. Nobody's made him take a step wrong. He's had flawless performances every single time he stepped out there. He's obviously just that guy right now, and continues to do it. A brilliant performance, and still
Fadinator showing why he's a problem.
The pound-for-pound GOAT right now in FSK Fadinator. Will be interested to see what is around the corner from that man, because obviously, he's He's going to get to a point within the next, like, 5 fights where he will be setting a record and cleaning out the division. Like,
it's going to be difficult for any
human being.
I can see Fadinator holding the belt for the entire season.
The undisputed Xbox champion of the world, Fatty the Baddie.
Ken Winter's got a hell of a task in front of him. Fadinator looks unstoppable, but Ken Winter's had some fantastic performances, and if he does it, incredible.
I
have to say, KM Winter, credit where credit is due. That man came out and performed here this evening. I look forward to seeing what he can do in the near future now.
Winter big wins over Trixie, big wins over Evil. He continues to improve and continues to show why he belongs at the top of the Xbox divisions.
Winter came here today with violence in his heart.
That means we get Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and that is going to be epic. Winter versus Fadinator for the Xbox Championship, and it starts right now!
And we are back. The co-main event of this evening, 2 tile fights. Here, Humble Dink and J Dime. The first one is up. The Xbox current GOAT in FSK Fadinator stepping in to the cage, trying to defend one more time here this evening up against KM Winter, trying to not only secure his belt, not only to defend his belt once more, but to set records, which is closely around the corner. This is history making.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It is history. It is crazy history, and it's crazy what Jay. I don't know about you, but every time we load up a record against Fadinator, it's like. He's like dominating every single one. It's so crazy.
I've never seen him have a negative record against anybody in my life.
Nobody.
When you go on the record, it's never a negative.
Like Naz was 10-1, then you've got Winter who's 9-0. You had bloody
no. He was up 12-0 when Naz before you.
Jesus, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just like who beats this guy? Who apart from Trixie? Who beats this guy?
And even right now, I don't think Trixie
don't beat him now.
Not this season.
Look at the way Winter is approaching this fight, man. He is coming into it actively. He's like really trying to get Fadinator on notice, I feel.
He's fine, like there's nothing to lose here.
Yeah, he's trying to get him out there, but his stamina is kind of sore. He's cutting out balls to the wall and like, kick. Straight takedown. Fadinator just was like, reset mode, takedown, slow it down. Let's tell you who's boss. Let's scrounge you out a bit, you know. That's the key, Cyrus. He can do it all.
He truly can, man. He truly can. And now he's in top mount. This is a bad position. Oh my goodness, he's given up his back. This is...
Might be a good idea, because if he punches, he might have an opportunity to get to, like...
It ain't no good.
No, he might be okay.
Look at Cyrus
now. I mean, if he goes left or right in mount, you remember what he did to Naz, where he denied everyone. That might be the right option, you know, give the back and then deny it.
Yeah, that's kind of the that's the only option in that situation.
Scary watching.
Well, it's to defend for your life. Yeah, for sure, bro.
Oh, I'm getting PTSD, guys. Do you remember when he held Naz in side control in the Grand Prix?
Yeah,
this is what I feel like.
Kimura, low stamina, Kimura.
This is a proper DJ sort of submission as well. And he's changed it. He's going to chain it. He's going to chain it. He's going to go the armbar. It's beautiful work. Steps over the head. Nice work. Goes all the way around. He's going to try.
This might be it, bro. This is it. He's got it. He does it again. FSK Fadinator is about to secure his belt.
The fuck. I'm done. I'm going home.
Bro.
Wow. Fadinator is a demon. Fadinator is one of those guys That
he is in his prime right now. This is like I told you, this season like the peak of his powers. He's
the best player in the world right now, Fad.
Yes, I agree with that.
Man, I'd love to see Fadinator versus Smudger.
Bro, tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it. That would be one hell of a fight. Jesus, man. Like I said, I'll never count anybody out. I know Winter came into this one just with like almost like reckless abandon. I feel like he was like, I'm just gonna take it to him and let see where it went. But then Fadinator just went like, you could see it. You could see just the change up in Fadinator's mind. He went, nah, I ain't doing this. Talk him down and submitted him. Like, do you know what I mean? Just the ability to decide that. Do you know how crazy that is in a mixed martial arts fight to just go, nah, I'm done with this. This is done now. Like, the fight is over for you. That's what it feels like when he steps into the cage. You can just see that switch up. Something else is at play here. I don't know if this guy has made a deal with the devil. I don't know if God just smiles favorably upon him, but Fadinator quite clearly has the skills to pay the bill.
He doing stuff.
Who fights him? That's the question. Who the hell fights him?
Normal people don't get, man.
Man, who fights him now? Who fights him? He got the chain there off the Kimura as well, but he was such like a. To be honest, that's one of the moves that most people can get from side control. He denies a few and then gets the Kimura. But the way he did it, Cyrus, in the first round, he just dealt with the problem. He's like it's like he's a firefighter just coming in and like someone just sets a fire and he just puts a blanket on it and just goes, nah, not today, son. Because that's just crazy what he just did to Winter right there.
Well, the thing is, he's just so diverse, right? Like what he does, and I love this about Fadinator. He's like a guy that if you come into it really hot, right, like trying to strike and make this fight crazy, he's like, nah, let's calm this shit down a little bit, and he has the power to do that. But then similarly, if somebody comes into the fight and they're a guy that's like highly technical, that wants to slow the fight down, he's like, nah, you've got to fight at my pace, and he speeds it up on them. And it's just like his ability to set the tempo is what is separating him from the rest of the competition. Nobody else is dictating the pace. He is dictating the pace. He is dictating where this fight takes place, and whether that be striking, grappling, and everything in between. And it is truly putting him ahead leaps and bounds within this promotion right now. He is on an absolutely meteoric rise, within ourselves. And I would imagine he is dominating anywhere. I don't know if he's competing anywhere elsewhere at the moment, but he will dominate any space that he is in. I challenge anybody to step up to this man. We have our own rankings that everybody's working their way through, but if you get your opportunity against Fadinator, you need to take that shit seriously. You need to get the best in your corner. You need to make sure that you are putting in the hours, because it's clear, Humble, Fadinator has put in the hours. He clearly has.
No, he has. He's put in a lot of hours. He's like that, and he's good. Like nobody disrespects him as well. Like a lot of people talk well about him because of the way he plays. He doesn't really cheese. Like he just does everything really fucking well. Like he's the type of guy you can't. He'll beat you everywhere. Like you said, pace changing, different things like that. He becomes the matador. He becomes the sniper. He can be the aggressor. It's almost like he's an Avenger. He's took all the superpowers. Like he just whatever he needs to do, he has the sort of thing to do it. So that's Fadinator. Who's gonna stop him? I don't know. I'm looking at our top 15 right now in me gigs, and I can't see anybody up there that he hasn't already beat in that top 10, apart from Cap a lot, and maybe the fight with Trixie again. I don't know who's going to beat him. I just don't have a clue.
Well, look, we're talking about one incredibly dominant champion, and we're going to now talk about another one. We are going to be having NM Smudger, the man, the myth, the goddamn legend, a guy that has been untouchable on the PlayStation division. Any fight that he has ever lost, he has won back with a vengeance. He has proven those points. He has won his rematches. He has won, every single opportunity he has been given. He has captured that. He's never a guy, J Diamond, either, right? I just want to really point this out. He is like the true epitome of what a champion is. This guy doesn't, even when things didn't go his way, there was like a fight that was made a no contest a little while ago. He doesn't bitch, he doesn't complain, he gets himself ready, he gets himself concentrated, takes that next fight that he has ahead of him as the most important fight of his career, and he goes out there and he goddamn performs. And that is what has kept him ahead of the competition more often than not. And that is what he's going to need to do here this evening to go up against somebody like Dave, TT, who is a guy that is on right now one hell of a burning spree. This guy has, like I say, went 5-0, 5-5, and now I think he's on another 5-fight win streak. He's hot or cold, and right now he's running hot.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Smudger has shown that he's the best on PlayStation. Like Smudger is a very dominant champ, but Dave is the wild card. He's so hot or cold. That's the thing. And Dave has joined a new camp. He's joined TT, and you got people like CV, and he got other sparring partners that could like piece that could probably help him get the look they need to go against Smudger. But that's easier said than done because Smudger that's a tall task. That's an uphill battle right there.
To say the least, brother, to say the least. Well, once again, we put a lot of work into getting all of these fights, the graphics, and the promos from Mr. Hummeldink done. So we're going to go across one more time to the promo that was being made for Smudger and Dave TT against what is set to be the biggest fight of this evening, your PlayStation main event with the title on the line.
Smudger versus Dave TT. Before we start and tell you how great Smudger is, before we build a similar picture and tell you how dominant he's been in Primetime, before we tell you that he's beat every single person in a rematch that has beat him, before we do any of that, we need to look back at Primetime 97. This was Smudger versus Dave at Primetime 97. The first round started off with MK Dave taking the lead, hitting the body, using his grappling and really making it difficult for Smudger to gain a rhythm in this fight. It was one of the first times that somebody made Smudger look human. This was a shock. This was something we'd not seen before on the commentary team or as the PT audience kind of gasped as MK Dave started to rally in that first round and pick apart Smudger. This is something Smudger does to other people, we thought. But somewhere deep down, we all knew Smudger has the ability to put someone's lights out in one shot. This guy can create magic in the cage. He can pull a rabbit out of a hat, and that's what he did. He created magic once again. And for Dave, it must be frustrating because he did dominate that fight.
For nothing. All of that success in that second round for nothing.
As J Dime says, all that success for nothing. Or was it for nothing? Because Dave has his shot at redemption again tonight. He is able to right the wrongs that he made in that first fight. We don't know either way, but what we do know is we're about to find out.
No matter who I'm in there with, they ain't getting out there alive. They're going out there in some sort of stretcher.
And we are back. Main event at hand. Calling all the action myself, Cyrez, J-Dime TV, and the one and only Hummeldink lads. An emotional night, a crazy night from all of the performances, the back-end madness that's gone on, but we've got you. All the fights have been booked and done. The history is not only happened, but currently in the making. We have the PlayStation reigning champion, the PlayStation GOAT, NM Smudger, trying to defend his belt one more time up against Dave, the up-and-coming hot streak fighter right now, J-Dime. A man that has been tearing through his opponents and is, really, really trying to seize this opportunity he has ahead of him.
Yeah, here's the thing. Dave is on a hot streak right now. This isn't losing Dave. This is Dave when he's on a hot streak. Like I said, he's the wild card. He's the wild card of all of this because Dave could easily beat the best player in the world and then somehow lose to someone he's not supposed to.
All about mentality though. It's all about like keeping yourself in the zone, and if you can, we've got to remember that first fight in the promo. Like the first fight, Dave was dominating most of that fight, and he did it with a lot of grappling tires. So it's interesting to see that the pick's actually in Volkanovski for Smudger, because he's going to be able to neutralize that potentially and stop it. But one of the things Dave did was the body shots. He ripped to the body continuously and did a great job there.
Yeah, I will say one thing, right? Like Dave, like say when his confidence is high, he's able to do absolutely anything. He stands back up. That might have been a smart move. I will say Smudger's ability to react in situations, to adjust, and generally speaking, his ability to maintain and manage distance and range is second to none. I experienced it firsthand here this evening. But as you can see, Dave has those heat seekers in those hands, J-Dime, and he is coming to this fight trying to get it done in one.
Yeah, he started well, but you have to remember, Smudger's really good at adjustment, so he can't let himself get carried away. He got to stick to the game plan, Humble.
Crazy, like, it's crazy. How did he go on a 5-out loser streak, but like looks this good? Like, it is crazy.
He's hiding cold. He's hiding cold.
I think it's just confidence, but essentially, look at the performance he's having so far. He's doing really good. He's got to keep this consistently, right? One of the things he does is he overextends his shots. He kind of gets a bit too excited, and if he mixes his grappling in, as we talked about earlier, those exchanges where you come off the break, those are vital, Cyrus. A few of those and you get knocked down, and they can change a fight, because Smudger's brilliant at capitalizing when you're hurt.
Yeah, Smudger is the MMA Lomachenko. He downloads his opponents, he adjusts and adapts to everything that you give him. He didn't like what he was seeing on the feet, gets a little hip toss in there, and you know he's going to work you down here, gets the denial off easily. This guy is a menace everywhere, man. You think, oh, I'm getting ahead here, and he's like, nope, just switch the script. And now, let's be straight up. Dave's going to have to really, really dig deep. He's going to have to mind his P's and Q's here, because otherwise, Smudger's going to run away with it.
Get mounted by the champ.
Oh.
He's got a few wins from here as well, Jay.
Oh.
Nice defense.
Oh.
Yeah, good mitigation there. He stops the damage coming through, stops the sort of overall main posture, but then he lets him posture back up, doesn't move.
I think he's scared of being denied, but I think he has to mix them up, undeniables. That's what I think he has to do here, and then he has to move after.
Oh.
But he is mitigating this damage right here.
Yeah, one through his face.
Yeah,
there we go.
Such a terrible position because of the it is so hard to, especially when the hoods are on. I'd love to take hoods off one day.
Like Smudger doesn't play with a HUD on either.
Oh, okay, so it's even worse. In fact, he's doing it without the hood. He just knows it. A lot of people just know the animation, don't they, Cyrus? They're ready for it. Like they're waiting for the first fraction of that animation. Zeus was a major part of kind of studying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Beautiful round. You can see that is, even after the late success from Smudger, that is still Dave's round. That's one in the bag for Dave right there. I almost called him Dirty Dave. That's one in the bag for Dave TT right there. Look, he's starting this round out with a stamina advantage. He's got a slight head health advantage. That's actually still a good round for Dave. I mean, I was starting to think momentum shifting, and definitely confidence-wise, Smudger's got something back there, but every round starts standing, and Dave's getting clipped.
Oh, nice overcut right there. And he goes for the throw, takes him to the ground. This is where essentially the 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to work, J-Dime. And the success he just had. This is what he's gonna. This is where he's
realized. Smudger to switch up to. Now he's starting to move. He's not accepting this position anymore. Mm-hmm. Now he's starting to move because he has to. I was gonna say if Smudger gets posture up and top mount again, he's gonna try to change the pattern because Dave knew his last pattern, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. Exactly right. And I have to say, what I'm seeing right now gives me little flashbacks to the message that Smudger sent me leading into this fight. He sent me the GIF or like a little video of Volkanovski saying, I've given this man all of the respect leading up to this fight, but that ends today. And that is exactly what he is doing here right now. He is pouring on the pressure. He feels like he gave him his respect. And now is where he's going to show that there are still levels to this game. Dave doing a good job of accounting, giving an account of himself so far, but you can see that the champ's starting to try and turn it up here.
He got caught in the pocket right there from Volk. It didn't look like it, but he just got caught with a straight. His head elf started blinking. Needs to be careful of kicking in boxing range while your opponent's going forward, J-Dime. Beautiful. And them as well. Be careful of everything. Oh, he just threw a Johnny Wilder uppercut. Oh, no, it's over.
He should let himself recover. That's the thing. When you're hurt like that, and he gets hip tossed again. That's like his third time getting hip tossed today.
Yeah, when I was sparring Smudger earlier, I mean, it's one thing calling his fights for all of these times, but when I was actually in there with him, the things that stood out to me the most was his distance management and his composure. His composure, especially when he's got you hurt, he doesn't just like rush out shots, he picks them. He's actually more calculated when he's got you hurt, and that's why he gets finishes, and that's why it's so hard to get back into the fight when he's got an advantage. He's good at being that front runner. He likes to get ahead and, keep you trying to chase him.
Oof.
Yeah, it does, and that's it. He needs to get it. He's got a head.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Is it over? Beautiful work, and still.
Wow.
Dave
had his moments, but Smudger is the moment. Smudger is the moment.
Bro, I'm gonna say this right now from myself. from J-Dam, from Humbledink, and the rest of this staffing community and the community as a whole, I think it's just impossible to say that Smudger, NM Smudger, is simply the best to ever do it on PlayStation. He has been killing it for season after season. It is undeniable. This man's composure in the cage, his ability to, just kind of rise to the occasion, to dig deep when he's, even on his worst nights, he finds ways to win. And I think I've said this once in the past, where the best are able to win on their bad nights. And that's what Smudger does. This wasn't a bad night. This was a good night for Smudger, but my goodness, did he showcase that he is just levels above the competition right now. Respect, like I said, to Dave, and he did have some moments, like you said, Humble, but it's Smudger's time. It's Smudger's time right now, and somebody's going to have to take that, bro. They're going to have to take it.
A new avenue as well, the step back hook. Not the straight anymore, the step back hook. He does the step back. Throws a perfectly timed hook right there. Beautiful work. I liked Dave's sort of composure. As soon as he went to the ground here, Dan, that game plan went a pot. Apparently, it just kind of went the opposite way around, and Smudger and Fadinator kind of proving why they are the top echelon of each division, mixing it up when it matters, making the necessary adjustments to adjust to their opponent, to their weaknesses, and kind of utilising that to then get finishes. One with a submission and one with a knockout. Beautiful work from Smudger, and he did predict the second round as well, J-Dime.
Like Mystic Mac, he called it, and he showed why he's still the best on PlayStation. That was beautiful. He faced some adversity. We've seen a little bit of everything. And then, ever since he faced adversity, he just changed everything. Like the champion he is, made adjustments, and destroyed him once he got that ground.
Yes, sir. Look, Primetime to the moon and back. These guys living up and showcasing their skills each and every single time out. Humble, I think it's more than fair to say right now, we and the fighters here have showcased that the best talent competes under Primetime MMA. They really, really push that limit every single event. They evolve, and you've seen it. The performances speak for themselves, not just in Primetime MMA, but a lot of these guys compete elsewhere, of course. It's a kind of loving niche community. Everybody tries to support everybody, and these guys have gone out there and they have, kind of won event after event, tournament after tournament. The likes of Smudger, the likes of, like you say, Fadinator, and we saw CV earlier on here this evening. Like I said, these guys are putting the reps in, they're doing the circuits, they're doing the work, and they're showcasing that they are the best about. And they come into this gauntlet that we have here at Primetime MMA, where everybody is welcome to compete, and only the truly best will rise to these live cards to be able to showcase their skills for all of the supporters. And on that point, we'll take this moment to shout out those supporters one time here this evening. We appreciate each and every one of you, all of the guys that have been joining us throughout this entire journey, that share the streams, that like all of the posts when we put them out there, and of course all of the biddies, the resubs, and everything that goes along with that. Obviously a special shout out here this evening to Matrix Born, Black Love, Hey, it's Fran, CV, Smudger, and UFE for the raid earlier on here this evening. Sean Corkery, apologies as well yourself, my man. There's actually a lot of names. You guys came through in force here this evening. Baron Von Jedi. Humble, this is a good opportunity for us to maybe announce this. Very, very soon we have the Primetime podcast coming, and that is going to be with Baron Von Jedi and, of course, Swaggy Dr. Kush. Make sure to check those guys out and the content that they're doing. There's big announcements coming around the corner. We have a lot of content building bigger and better each and every time we step forward. Until then, join the raid at the end. Stay safe, much love, and once again, we appreciate each and every one of you. To the ball.